Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Tim P.3, and welcome to episode 100 of the TNT podcast. It only took over 150 weeks for us to get here.
Yeah.
Even then, that's being generous.
But we finally made it to the resounding cries of the 5 people who listen to this podcast. We made it to episode 100.
Wow. Jesus.
That's very true.
Have some self-respect, for God's sake.
No,
All
that's...
right. You know, you're right. You're right. 6. 6. Yeah,
Six and a half.
But no,
it's got no legs.
It's time for episode 100, and we're gonna do, as promised, we're gonna mostly do a bunch of D&D stories. But first, we have the whole crew with us for our episode 100. On my right,
That's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
did you just lean into your mic for that? Because you got like extra loud. For
I
that
tried to readjust. Maybe I'm too loud. Is this better?
That's better.
Okay.
No, who knows?
Okay.
And on my left,
Who knows anything? I'm just Tyler, but also big titty anime expert. Haven't broken
bringing
that
it
out
back.
in a hot minute.
And then joining us is the unofficial 4th member of the podcast, across from me.
The amazing aids. Hello. Just following Friedman's lead here. Just really
Just lean in real close to the microphone and introduce yourself.
Gonna do some ASMR D&D stories.
Please stop.
today.
Please
Oh
stop.
my God, get out of here.
All right, no more. No
Pretty
mas.
soon pretty soon you're gonna be eating food into the microphone for those fucking weirdos.
We're doing a mukbang.
No!
No. God.
Freeman,
I feel
Freeman,
like I just entered a world that I wanted no part of.
Did you?
The TAA podcast.
You know,
Tyler is out now.
You know, I
Goodbye,
very
everyone.
intentionally never have used that word before because I don't even want to give name to such a stupid fucking thing. But like I said, we have a little bit of news we're gonna cover today. We're gonna try to be quick,
It's
and
mostly weeb shit. Let's be real here.
it's mostly quick stuff.
Whoops.
Even the weeb shit's real fast.
And then we're gonna get to some D&D stories, what we watched and stuff, and call it a day so we can go play video games. But starting us off, I wanted to throw this one on here because this actually happened. I didn't even realize it happened like middle of last week. But it's always kind of a big event, at least for me, when the new James Bond theme comes out. And we got No Time to Die with Billie Eilish? Is that how you...
Eilish.
Billie Eyelash.
So shows how little I know about modern music. That call. Gotta say, I know Tyler. At the very least, you are also interested in listening to these every time they come out. You at least.
I am. I'll let you know right off the bat. I think it's kind of a banger. I'm not gonna lie.
I was actually gonna agree with you. I found myself re-listening to it a bunch at work today. I think this is growing on me pretty quick, and this is gonna turn into a good one.
Like, I think I said this in private, but I think it's more of a testament to like the production of the song than
Than
Billie
actually
Eilish
her.
actually singing.
Yeah,
But hey, man, whatever.
Dude,
They made it work. It sounds
those
cool.
horns are pretty hot every time.
Yes, those James Bond horns.
Every time, baby, you gotta have them.
So I'll be one to say it. So I don't particularly like Bad Guy, but she had one other big radio hit called Everything I Wanted that I generally thought it was a good song, and the Bond theme she put out is very similar to it.
Okay.
So I'll give her that. It's
Emo
consistent with her
shit.
style. This is definitely a Billie Eilish song.
So Tyler, I don't know if you said that because of what you reading my headline, my tagline for this, but I mean, ever
Half and
since
half.
Casino Royale, this has clearly been the dark emo age of James Bond with Daniel Craig. Like,
Hold on, what year did Casino Royale come out in?
oh
2000,
god,
what 4?
oh my god. Oh, you know what I didn't
that
realize?
that was the height of the scene movement.
Yeah. So
2006. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Casino Royale had You Know
Royale.
My Name. Yeah, I know. Which was pretty poppin'. That was a good rock song. That was just rocking.
Well, hold on. Coincidence? I think not. Casino Royale and Black Parade by My Chemical Romance come out in the same year. Writing's on the wall, man.
Well,
Mm,
oh my god, I don't know if that's intentional, Freeman, but that's a line from the last movie's James Bond.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the song for Spectre had "The Writings on the Wall" as a line
Oh
in the
my
fucking
God.
song.
Happy coincidence.
But then we had, I don't even remember the Quantum of Solace. Oh, that was the duet. That was the only duet they've ever done for Quantum of Solace.
I don't even remember the theme for that.
That song was okay. Then Skyfall was
Skyfall
hot.
was a banger.
Adele
Banger.
fucking crushed
A
Skyfall.
banger.
And then we had Sam Smith's Spectre, which I still don't really love, mostly because his voice is too nasally for me to like.
Not about it.
I know actually it's funny. I vividly remember my whole family was in the car coming back from a vacation when that song came out, and I was the first one. I was like, man, I didn't really like that song. I don't like him. And everyone in my family turned to me and was like, what? That was great. And I'm like, are you guys nuts? Where's the power of the James Bond theme? Like, there's no power behind it. It's just Sam Smith doing the
Sam Smith
Being a little
and I'm
bitch.
just like, man, I don't know what you guys were listening to, but I was not a fan. But then this is pretty darn good. This is a good and it's nice and re-listenable, but it's also definitely the least happy of all of them. But that seems like what this movie's going to be. Also, still No Time. This is another great opportunity to say No Time to Die is still a fantastic title for a James Bond movie.
Dude, fucking amazing.
Like-
amazing title.
After having Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, which is still one of the worst ever.
I don't know what the fuck is gonna go on in the movie, but I mean,
It's a James Bond movie. You know what's gonna happen.
Explosions and
see,
murder.
Espionage, action,
so
Metal
you-
Gear Solid,
So you say
Hideo
that.
Kojima.
You say that, but like honestly, like I said, that this is the emo phase. But the Daniel Craig movies have had a lot more continuity and a lot darker themes than a lot of the old James Bond movies did. Like a lot of the old ones were just, yeah, there's a supervillain trying to take over the world or whatever. But like,
Yeah, I'm not.
Like-
I'm not going to disagree with you on this at all. You're very correct that these movies have a very different tone than older Bond films.
like
do.
Skyfall especially. Like I know it came kind of like everyone kind of guessed it from Adele's song, but Skyfall is not a happy movie. Like remember when Javier Bardem pulls out those fake teeth? And he's
yeah,
like,
you
oh,
know,
oh,
this is
hey,
what
M, look what you
happens.
did to me, by the way. Like, you sent me on a mission and this happened to me. And it's like, Jesus.
I tried to kill myself,
Yeah.
and it didn't take.
I
and this-
fucking chewed my suicide tooth and it didn't work and it destroyed my mouth forever. Oh, God. Just remembering that scene is, oh, God. But yeah, I can't wait to see this movie. Moving on to more immediate things and more powerful things than even than a James Bond song, more power.
Oh hell yeah,
Wow.
Tyler! I don't know if you saw this one, but Nvidia had I don't know if it was an announcement. It was a tweet yesterday. They're coming out with a special edition graphics card to commemorate the launch of Cyberpunk 2077. They're calling it the RTX 2077. Guess based on that name, which card is it? Is it a 2080 or a 2070?
Isn't it a 2080 right
It
here?
is a
Definitely a
2080.
2080 Ti,
Yeah,
actually.
It's a 2080 Ti. Sorry, but when I saw it, I'm like, why the fuck would there be a special version of the 2070? If this is gonna be like an intense game, and then I realized it was 2080. But I was also super pissed when I realized it's not for sale. It's like they're making 99 and they're giving them away,
Yeah.
which
I
kind of sucks.
entered the sweepstake.
Wait, there's a sweepstakes? Where?
Oh, is it still
Yeah.
open? I forgot to.
It's on Twitter and Facebook and literally everywhere.
All right, I'll do it after the podcast. Anyway, we're all in the running for this one. But the thing was cool.
So I told Tyler that if I win the sweepstakes and get this 2080 Ti, I'm giving him my RTX Titan.
There you go.
Yeah.
To put the 2077.
Only
My
fair.
PC.
Only fair.
Consolation prize.
And Anne's got to build that black and yellow fucking.
Oh,
Oh
my
yeah, I'm doing a
God.
black and yellow build if I get the
This
card.
would,
which
yeah, I was gonna say
Oh,
this would
nice.
literally
It's
be the
actually
best
pretty
thing to
easy.
do a build around.
God, it looks so nice.
Wait, how do you?
It does look pretty fucking dope.
Like I was always a fan of the Founders Edition Shroud, but that just is very well decorated.
Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? It's not actually one of those sweepstakes where you just go to a thing and put your stuff in. You have to comment on one of the posts they did saying, hey, I love a fellow gamer and here's why, and then tag them. Oh
All right,
my
I
God.
already know
tag
exactly
in?
who I'm going to
I'm
tag.
just gonna
Let's just
say
go in a
this
circle
is a
and tag each other.
great time to promote the TNT podcast.
I love all my fellow gamers of the TNT podcast, world renowned.
Was it shameless plug?
Exactly.
Not so heated
Shameless
gamer
plug.
moments here.
Yeah.
All right, but that was a quick announcement. Next one, I didn't even know about this till an hour ago because Nintendo decided, yes, 7 p.m. EST is a perfect time to announce it. But in 48 hours,
Amazing.
they're having a Nintendo Direct focusing specifically on Animal Crossing, the game that's going to be coming out in 30 days, after this announcement.
So
they're probably
hopefully
just gonna-
we'll know once and for all if microtransactions will be in or not.
I'm willing to bet if they are, they're not at launch. Like they're not.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
ever since you said that the listing pulled it, like they pulled the info. I don't think it will, but I'm just saying like it'll be nice to finally know. Hopefully.
Yes, I'm hoping they show up more features because one of the big concerns, I know Tyler brought it up, is this just going to be the exact same game? And most of the fan base is okay with that, but I'm genuinely curious if there's just like new stuff going on in this game. And I guarantee you we'll find out. Like, there's no way they can spend a whole direct showing off the. Actually, I take that back. They can totally spend a whole direct showing off a game that they've already shown us before.
I mean,
All right, I have no idea
it's
what they're
just
going to
be half an hour of them jumping back and forth across the river with that pole.
That's it.
Pretty much.
Like, yo, this is the game, folks.
We
Show off
added
the
What you've
graphics.
all been
pole
waiting
vaulting.
for.
You
I mean,
can
hopefully
pole
they-
vault now. Let's go.
I mean, I'm guessing they're going to show off like online multiplayer features or something. So, like they kind of got that with the mobile game, even though it kind of didn't really. And the 3DS, the local multiplayer was pretty sweet. So I'm like hoping they expand on it, make an actually fun multiplayer game. Anyway, moving on. A lot of small game news this week, but news came out today, or not even news, but like
Not
So-
small game.
so not small game. So at the Tokyo Sky Tower on the top level, for some reason they always just have Weeb shit for sale on the top level of the Tokyo Sky Tower, and it rotates
Nice,
what it's
nice.
going to be. Like the week of Kingdom Hearts 3, it was like exclusive Kingdom Hearts content, and for some reason today, it's stuff related to Final Fantasy VII Remake. So like they have, full HD printouts, they have posters, they have models, and they also had, they didn't have copies of the game, but for some reason they had printouts of the insert that's supposed to go in the game case. And explicitly on it, you can see that it's supposed to have 2 discs in the box. So we're now at a 2 Blu-ray release for a
Oh,
game that's
God.
supposed to be over 3 parts.
Amazing.
It's funny because for anyone who played original Final Fantasy VII, the thing was split across 3 discs. So it's fun to see them come full circle with this. But that's a lot of space.
That
lot of
is
shit.
lot. Remember last week when I brought up games are getting too fucking big?
Yeah,
this
I've
is
been
one of those
complaining about
games.
Call of Duty.
This is one of those games where I absolutely do not want to download this game.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little rough.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do physical for this one.
You know what though? I don't know, man.
You might skip this because you're
I
playing
might
Doom.
Shit. I honestly have no clue what I want to do anymore. Cause like, man, it looks amazing. Cause that's the other thing too, right? That we didn't talk about. Did we talk about the trailer last week? Or not the trailer? The opening
No,
scene?
sorry, we didn't actually talk about the opening cinematic that came out. It came out, I think it was the end of the
Oh,
week
yeah, it
last
came
week.
out
I
like
sent it to
a couple-
chat, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This is beautiful."
Yeah. Cause it looks stellar, and I'm like, man, this makes me want to get it real bad. But then the whole like this information came out, and I'm like, do I really feel like waiting over however long to like get these other discs? And I'm just like, maybe I just want to wait till it goes down on price. It's not like I haven't played the game before.
I'm the opposite. So, like, you can complain all you want about whatever Square Enix does or Final Fantasy 15 being rushed, whatever. But at the end of the day, I thought the gameplay from 15 was stellar, and this looks like, I don't want to say more of the same. It looks like an improved version of that. So, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 did not scratch my action RPG itch in the slightest. So, I'm really itching for this one.
Is it because it was bad?
What, the action in the action RPG? Yes, it was.
No, I just meant the game.
Look, there were a lot of things that were bad about it. And that's the end of that sentence. All right, let's does anyone else have anything to say about Final Fantasy 7 or should we just keep Japanese shit
I
flowing
mean,
out here?
what do I?
I like Final Fantasy and I'm gonna play
Are
it
you-
because I'm a fucking shill.
Is this
Yes.
gonna be? Well, Tim, I know you're not a big. You don't really play JRPGs.
I'm not against them. I just no. I look at who you're talking to. I play the Yakuza games instead.
Oh well, if you
That is true.
I'm
Well,
not
yeah,
playing
listen.
this. I'm not playing this.
Say action.
No, I'm not.
What's
I'm not
the-
playing this game.
I think it's Xbox Game Pass, right?
I just saw
I
the
believe I
headline:
heard this,
Yakuza
that-
0.
But Kingdom Hearts 3 is also coming.
And
in case
Kingdom-
you
oh.
really want to play it.
Amazingly
don't
enough,
recommend
I
it.
don't want to play it at all.
Oh man, big shocker, big shocker. All right, let's just get right into the Weeb shit because we're going fast here and we just want to talk about D&D. So, last week I talked about the coronavirus impacting one or two show schedules. So it started impacting a lot more show schedules, including one of the prolific releases this season of a certain scientific railgun T. So that's like China's #1 most watched show, and that's already getting delayed by at least 1 week. In addition, there was this large convention in Japan called Anime Japan 2020, where a lot of studios were coming to make big announcements, including something for the Bleach 20th anniversary. They were going to announce the studio that's actually going to be doing Attack on Titan, and now they're like, yeah, it's high probability we're going to cancel this due to concerns about the coronavirus. So Attack on Titan fans are on suicide watch because they're literally never going to find out what studio is working on this show until we see it like this fall. So it's kind of shitty.
So I'm on suicide. What? No, I'm just kidding. Like, oh no.
I know, this sucks. I mean, yeah, this sucks. It doesn't change anything, but it's kind of an eye opener for a lot of people. No one realized how much outsourcing was done and how little anime is really done in Japan. Like a lot of the CG studios are Southeast Asia outsourced, and that's what's hurting a lot.
Fun fact for anybody that doesn't understand how the world works: everything is made in China.
Yeah, for real. It's 100%. Except, actually, I didn't talk about it the week it got announced. This is actually pretty interesting. So Japanese have manga and Koreans have manhwa, and there's this really big one called I think it's called Tower of God, and they announced it was getting an anime adaptation. And when they announced that a Japanese studio was doing the anime, South Koreans got a little mad. But then to make up for it, they announced, holy crap.
Oh my god.
That was a loud
God, did they just flip their table? Anyway, so to make up for it, they announced a K-pop group will be doing a Korean, Japanese, and English language version. So the same Korean group is doing all 3 openings, and it seemed to quell some of the anger surrounding the adaptation. But one of my close friends reads it, and he's like, "You guys got to watch. It's going to be hype as fuck." So this might be the start of like the Korean anime scene if this takes off. But things that are not taking off. Luigi and I are big fans of this harem trash show called Quintessential Quintuplets.
You guys sure are.
And it ended at a pretty good spot. And they're like, season 2. We're like, all right, we're hyped. It was supposed to come out 2 months ago.
Oops.
Then they're like, 3-month delay. It'll be fine. So we're all anticipating this, like, it coming out, I guess, 5 weeks from now. And then they announce again, it's actually coming out in October. Also, the director's not working on it anymore. Also, the studio's not working on it anymore. New director, new studio, new season. Also, the manga ends in a week, so we're going to redo the plot of the second season to like fast forward to the end of the manga, even though there's like 5 seasons worth of content. So everyone's just like, maybe you shouldn't. So now we're all kind of dreading what's coming. But it's harem trash, so we're going to watch it anyway.
It's harem trash.
But speaking of trash, and by trash, I mean a masterpiece.
Oh my god.
Interspecies reviewers, the pinnacle of culture in anime, has done it again.
Oh no!
Last week we talked about how one station in Japan decided to cut it. Another one has also taken off the air this week, citing that it just doesn't fit the content that they want to be showing. And it keeps getting better. On top of this, my analyst is suffering a DDoS attack as of this morning when the news broke. So a lot of people are speculating that the same bots that went and review, I don't know if I want to call it review bombing. If you give it a 10 out of 10, is that really review bombing?
Review cheering.
This mass cheering that happened 2 weeks ago. It seems like it happened again. It DDoSed the whole My Anime site, so it's been down all afternoon as I try to resolve this. And
how are you supposed to track what anime you watched today?
I really so I was only able to watch shows where I knew what episode I was on, or I had to start one new show because I just didn't know where I was on a bunch of others.
Damn.
But yeah, it's really shitty because I was watching.
Talk about first world problems. Holy shit.
I was watching Shiai Fudo. I was trying to figure out who a voice was, and then I watched Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it. And I was like, who the fuck are all these voices? And I couldn't look it up, and it was infuriating.
Damn.
But whatever. I'll get over it. The site will be up online real soon. And that's a perfect transition because you know what else is happening really, really soon?
What?
The Hero Academia movie is going to be in U.S. theaters.
Wow.
Like a week from Thursday.
Fucking
No, a week from tomorrow. Because they came out with the dub trailer today, and I was shocked because I hadn't heard anything
Yeah.
about the date outside of that Fandango posting you saw, which said it was going to be in theaters for like a month. Or was that the Violet Evergarden one?
That was the Violet thing.
That was the Violet. Yeah, so this is out next week. And a couple people who saw it in Japan already, they made a decent enough post on the anime subreddit that, like, it's not going to ruin the experience for anime onlys, but, like, there's a lot of characters and new uniforms and new special attacks people use in this movie that wouldn't show up till, like, the end of season 5 of Hero Academia. So just for context, we're about 2/3 through season 4. So it's nothing too insane, but be aware that this may have some stuff you don't want to know about. So don't look too deeply into anything you see in this movie if you watch it.
That seems weird to jump ahead so much.
So they're starting to do the One Piece approach where they realize they don't want to, like, if the manga's so far ahead, they don't want to release stuff that's too far back that it's not interesting to manga readers. With the first movie, they lucked out in that we had that very fortunate week before the Cell games, like, minute where we could have All Might still be All Might and Deku
yeah,
still
yeah.
be Deku before either kind of veered off on their own
Before we
paths.
got too far away.
Yeah. But now we don't have that Cell games moment. So they're how do I put it? It's anime original, but they're doing it in a way that it introduces characters who will be relevant in season 6, but it doesn't spoil anything that they're going to do in season 6.
Man, this is some galaxy brain. Like, we're getting ready for the 2021
it's technically
season.
it's technically for them a flashback in time. Like, it's like the next Cell Game saga we haven't gotten there in the anime yet, and they're using that as the point where, like, this is where the movie's going to take place. So it's because they want these movies to be canon that they're kind of digging themselves in a hole here. But it sounds like this is the last canon movie. I think movie 3 onwards is going to be like traditional DBZ, where it's just like, we're just going to put an arbitrary point where this movie happens and it doesn't really impact anything outside of itself.
Oh, look, a power move that never gets mentioned again.
That's really
the Rainbow Rasengan? What is that technique?
Oh God.
That's the stupidest shit ever.
But Japan loves it.
Anime,
Japan
bro.
needs to shut the fuck up.
Damn.
Unfortunately, they're producing all these
anime
shows we
rise
care
up.
about.
That's fine, but we're the ones consuming it. I demand a voice.
Give it another year.
Look, as long as Funimation is getting their free printed money at the theater, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you're
I'm
right.
pretty sure Funimation's gonna make insane amounts of money off this movie.
Nah, it's fine.
I guarantee
know what?
you, Funimation is like begging them to make another DBZ movie.
This is okay.
Oh, after
because
Broly?
I
Yeah.
can't complain
Yeah.
about this because Broly is actually not canon.
Wait,
So
What?
I
Well,
thought the
alright,
new Broly
no.
movie.
they just made Dragon Ball Super Broly canon, but that's not Broly. That's not the
you're
same
talking about
Broly we
you're
had.
talking about original Broly isn't canon.
I mean OG Broly.
Yeah, but new
Ah,
Broly's
yes.
even
Bio
better.
Broly.
Bio Broly. God.
South America would beg to differ.
Yeah, well.
Nah, it's like I mean that's fine. I really should get it more into My Hero Academia because everybody's like way too hype about it, and I'm just an asshole that doesn't watch the show.
So real quick, everyone else in the chat, did you watch the most recent episode?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you know they introduced the guy, Gentle Criminal.
He's so great. I
So
love
the-
I
Gentle.
don't like it.
So the first thing I noticed, I'm like, this dude's just a YouTuber. He's gonna ask us to like and subscribe halfway through this
Yeah,
video.
you're
he's
click
recording.
that like button.
But fun fact, the chapter where he first appeared came out 2 months after the Logan Paul and the Suicide Forest saga.
Yes, I did see that mentioned.
That's funny.
But more importantly, when I was first watching it, I'm used to watching JoJo on Crunchyroll where they have to change stand names to not be what they should be. And I saw Gentle Criminal on screen, and I started listening real close. I'm like, is his name Smooth Criminal and I just can't say it or something?
Is it Smooth Criminal?
No. His name is actually Gentle Criminal because they all
okay.
say
I was about to
Genturu
say, I'm
all
like,
the
is this
time.
some JoJo?
Because he even
shit?
says it's supposed to be some like shortened version of Gentleman Criminal.
Mhm.
So
Nah, they
Tyler,
just
should have
short
made
it
that
'cause
shit
it's Japan.
Smith Criminal.
why don't you like it?
I don't know. It feels very out of place for after what I just saw.
Well, that's what this arc is. This arc
Like
is
we were
Yeah.
doing some
gotta be
fucking
lighthearted.
Yakuza shit, and I'm like, damn, we're getting into some deep shit. Like
I-
people are dying. This is awesome. This is what I watch stuff for.
That's fair, but at the same time, I feel
No,
like
I don't want it. I don't fucking
okay,
want
well
it.
that's
I don't want it.
that's
I don't
understandable,
want it.
but
But
I can see
I
from
don't
a
care what-
storytelling perspective how they need a break, and you can't just keep
I don't
powering
want
up.
to break. I want to suffer.
All right, well, I'm sure you could find other anime
Fine.
that will hurt you like you want to be
Oh, I
hurt.
have. It's called RE0, and I'm suffering a
Oh,
lot.
we'll get to that at the end of the night.
It's like hell, Tim. Actually,
I'm 7 episodes behind on that from you guys. I still gotta
My-
catch up.
yeah, my
I'm
soul
still
is
only on
crushed.
episode 3.
But you know what? You're right though. Here, you know what? Let me reel it back. Okay. Yes, I agree with you. I think the readers / watchers should have an emotional break. You're not wrong. But you know what? It's not what I want.
That's fair.
I just
You're
don't
allowed to
care.
think that.
Dude, I want to see Deku Detroit smash that like button, hit subscribe,
Stop.
Also,
bring up our sponsor
Look,
for the week.
part of me
Raid
is also
Shadow
like,
Legends.
good. The influencer will lose. Thank goodness. Like, show how
But-
lame they are.
that my other thing about it is though, seriously, I think it's almost a little. I feel like it's just too weird. I feel like it just like it pumped the brakes way too fast.
I mean, you say
And
that,
now we're
but
in this like weirdly like campy now part of the show.
I mean, sure, but he did beat up 5 heroes. Or
He did.
or they just did editing tricks and it was all paid actors and we're gonna find out that it was bullshit, which I could totally see happening.
Which I could see because it's like, oh, you know, he does the whole don't turn off the camera for this part. It's like, what? Like
So
that doesn't instill any sort of feeling in me about caring about who this guy is.
So I'm willing to bet they're just setting him as a comical villain, and he's going to show up at their school during.
That's
this
exactly
event.
what's gonna
So
happen.
they just need to set up someone who's threatening enough to be threatening, but not an actual threat to anyone.
Man, I
If
don't
you know
like
what I'm saying?
this. You know what?
It's
No,
fine.
I shouldn't act like
The
this.
entire intention of this arc is the creator's like, oh, this girl Val who watches my show needs to cry miserably at everything Eri does. Let's make that the focus of this arc because I can feel it when I'm watching this show.
Honestly, Freeman, I was just thinking when I watched these last 2 episodes, I'm like, when you guys watched on Wednesday and Val finally sees this part, she's gonna be like, Eri, no.
Yeah, I was watching last night. I'm like, oh
When-
my god, these are like custom
When
made.
Eri is like that guy with the glasses, I'm like, Val is
Oh,
gonna
no.
break down crying when she sees that part.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Oh no, I might drop the show and wait till
What?
this is over.
Oh, a marathon.
What a-
Okay.
What a
Marathon it
raging
or
loser.
just pick up the straggle. Like I don't know. I don't care. If nothing of
Wow.
significance is gonna happen, then I don't really
Damn,
care.
not even willing to dedicate that 22 minutes of your life once a week.
Jeez.
Yeah, fuck that.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yes.
Speaking of how the mighty fall,
Yo,
Let's talk
there-
about our
there is no
D&D
mighty.
sagas.
Wait, what?
mighty or lack thereof.
Yeah.
It's time for edition. This is 4, right?
I think there's only the third one. The
Only
last
3?
I don't fucking.
we had.
You're the one
we
who
did D&D
re-listened to them all.
Stories, and then we did one where it was like RP versus. Oh no, maybe we did do 3.
I thought we did 3 D&D stories before.
Either
Either way,
don't
it's
know.
time for another edition of D&D stories. Yay!
That's what all 3 of you have been waiting for.
Damn, cutting the numbers.
This is the
even
closest to
further.
our interdimensional cable episode we're getting.
Interdimensional cable. Is this the
two
shitty?
two
is this,
brothers.
Is this the shitty one where it's Morty's mind benders instead of interdimensional cable, and it's like
It's
fuck
4
you?
friends, and they're in a podcast, and there's a bunch of weeb shit. In
Yeah,
fact,
this
it's
is the
only
shitty
weeb
one.
shit.
No.
But
We're
wait,
We're going
there's-
to Bendigo.
But there's an
Morty.
Overwatch patch, and a new Magic set gets announced, and it's,
Oh, God.
it's
Sounds
4
like
friends on a podcast.
I don't want this to be the shitty episode.
It's
I
too
fucking-
late.
ugh.
It's already there, bud.
I hated that episode. It's like
No,
Every
it's
yeah,
gonna- no,
episode of
it's
this
gonna be good.
podcast is
Hold
a
up,
shitty
whoa,
episode.
back up. You didn't like Morty's Mind Blowers?
no.
Oh, I loved it.
You know why I didn't love it? Because it wasn't interdimensional cable.
It's fine. We're totally getting one this season.
Yo, it's you know what? One man's
Do I
trash
even
is
ca-
another
honestly-
man's burrito. Okay.
Honestly, can't say I
Ew.
really care anymore.
Ew. What the
I like
fuck?
that. No, I really like that saying, Tyler.
It's just true.
Maybe
Anyway, sorry,
if you're
Tim,
a
go ahead.
trash
No,
pan.
I was just saying I honestly can't say I super care about the season of Rick and Morty. It's been like decently funny, but I'm not like
Oh, but it's losing the
rushing
magic.
to watch. Yeah, I feel like they're kind of just running the jokes into the ground.
Family Guy status.
But I'll forever have interdimensional cable 1 and 2. Like Tyler said, it's 2 brothers.
Two brothers.
All right,
It's two brothers.
so let's actually start D&D stories instead of beating around the bush here.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad
Oh,
idea.
Who wants
So,
to go first?
Well, I was gonna say, this is our 4th one, Freeman. You lied to me. We've
Sorry,
done
you're right.
D&D
It's 1,
stuff
2, and then
before.
we had the RP versus combat focus,
Yes,
which
basically.
wasn't labeled D&D Stories 3,
Well,
but yes,
I
this
did
is
two
our,
of
this is our
them as
fourth D&D
D
Stories
and
session.
D, and then one was D and D. So we
Okay.
have this is like our 5th D&D-ish episode, but never mind. Aiden,
Oh no.
you haven't been here for previous ones.
Nope.
Do you have a story you can share about Dungeons and Dragons?
I have several stories I can
Oh,
share
Also,
about
excellent.
Dungeons and
set
Dragons.
us up for the campaign you were in when you tell us the story.
This is a story about my very first Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Oh, hell yeah.
So how long ago is this for reference?
This is oh god.
Because for me,
3
first game
years
is like
ago now?
13 years.
Yeah, no. I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
I was not pulled into the D&D world until rather recently.
Like post college.
Oh yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Like I was working at the hospital when I started playing D&D. So like within the last 4 years.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
That's about the same for me. I was middle of grad school when Tim recruited me for D&D.
Yarp.
Damn.
And look where we are now.
Yeah.
Where we are now.
Anyway, Aiden, go ahead. First game.
First game of D&D. We started in a tavern. Ooh.
Oh wait, shit! I was there for this.
Tyler was here for this.
I forgot. Oh my god.
Tyler's like,
man.
oh yeah,
Tyler-
a tavern.
Not
This
for
could be
some
any
reason
campaign.
it triggered it though, and I remembered. Oh
So,
god, that was the first
it
time I
was-
actually ever talked to Aiden.
Yeah,
Wow.
yes. That was the first time. That was the first time that I ever set eyes upon the beautiful big titty anime expert that was Tyler
That is
in
me.
in his digital form.
Yeah.
So it was me, another coworker who also had not played D&D ever before. Whew. Yeah, Tyler, and there was somebody else. I think it was Was Korovich with
I
us?
want to say yeah, because that led to
Yeah, you
the actual
were-
campaign later.
You were our guiding light, Tyler.
Ah,
you
it
let
went
it-
south real quick. The light went out real quick.
So we're just having a good time, conversing in our tavern. Like, oh, what do you do? What do you do? Who are you? What do you look like? Whatever, D&D bullshit, yada yada yada. Some drunken gentlemen who were not very intimidating at all start an altercation with us. Hey, fuck you, you're ugly. Okay. So it's like, I'm like, what's the play here? I'm new to this. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm trying to diffuse it. They're probably just drunk, not very threatening. No. My coworker, who thinks that D&D works like Skyrim, immediately draws his weapon and stabs the drunkard in the middle of the bar.
Oh no.
We're all having a fight, and he pulls out his sword, and I'm like, oh.
Oh no.
This is the one thing we didn't want to happen.
And that's when everything went downhill. So, needless to say, he murders this gentleman in this bar because D&D isn't Skyrim. The whole fucking guard shows up because it's like, guards, there's a fucking murder. Hey.
Hey, look, a murder.
So, the guards show up, not wanting to admit guilt. My coworker then impales himself on his own spear
What?
to evade the law.
You can't arrest me if I'm dead.
And that was my first half hour of D&D.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
That was honestly a first for me.
You'll never take me alive. Bonk.
I don't even know. It wasn't even that. It was like an even more pitiful reason too, and I
Oh
forgot.
god.
They just wanted him to go, like, you're coming with us.
It was
We
just
gotta
for
figure out what's
questioning.
going on.
Just figure out the situation and like they're getting hauled off, and I remember I just kind of stood back because I'm like, yo, I'm not getting involved with this. And
Yep.
who did I? Oh, I think I ratted Korovich out though, because like he did something too, and I'm like, yo, I'm not a part of this. I'm a cleric.
Oh yeah, no.
Uh,
Korovich jumped in there to help with the fight, but it's like, why are you fighting people in a bar? They're drunk. You could have punched them in the face. But
yeah,
nope,
this is-
we're immediately going hostile. Weapons out, boys. We're doing
All right,
it.
all right. Time's up.
Stop! You violated the law. Here's some money to bribe you. That's not how it works,
What's
kids.
with all this shouting?
So that's the lesson out there to anybody who wants to get into D&D. Your dungeon master will not let you play it like Skyrim.
Or a bar fight in real life. You pull out a knife.
Dude, it's hard. It's
That's
hard to de-escalate
escalation
that.
right there.
Yeah, you gotta, a fist, whatever, man. You can get out of that. You pull out a knife, that's jail time.
Oh,
See,
Don't do that.
Freeman.
D&D is like real life.
Sorry, real quick, Freeman. You forgot to talk about the Pokemon anime episode that came out on YouTube.
Yo,
No.
Oh, I haven't been. So,
D&D though.
all right, so hold on, back to the Weeb shit real quick. So, in addition to the normal TV series, they've been kind of doing these like web series. They're doing once a month these like very high quality episodes where they show stuff like not about Ash, like it's about like the gym leaders and shit in the Galar region. Because for some reason they have an anime that doesn't involve the new region at all. So that came out. It's very high quality. If you like Pokemon, give it a shot. If you don't like Pokemon, I really don't know what you're listening to this for.
There you go.
That
It's fine.
Damn, yeah.
I just want to say real quick. First episode, very misleading.
Really?
Yeah, because like 15 minutes of the first episode of the 20 minutes is them retelling the story about how Ash got a fucking Pikachu.
Nice.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Love it.
And I was like, oh, fuck, they're remaking Pokemon. And I was really excited. And then it wasn't that. It's like, we're going to do our 7-month time skip for when Ash is still 10, but fucking 20 badges later.
Damn.
Ash has now walked across every continent on Earth, and it's been 8 months. Anyway, back to the D&D shit.
So, to piggyback off of Pokemon, I'll tell a story about my first time. Well, this isn't my first time, I guess, technically, but I guess I would say first time really invested in the whole tabletop RPG thing, and how I got really into it, and then spiraled out of saying to myself, I'm never gonna play D&D ever again before I was tricked. Tricked.
Wait, had you actually sworn off D&D before we tricked you?
I did. I swore off, and I was like, this is
There's
bullshit.
no
Sorry.
we here.
Sorry,
Leslie
before
tricked.
she tricked you into playing D&D.
Leslie tricked me. She did trick me. She didn't tell, and I had told her
And look,
because she had asked my opinion.
and
like,
look,
hey, what do
finally
you
something
feel?
good came out of being tricked.
Yeah, for once. For once in my life, getting tricked. I don't want any more tricks though. None of that.
Yeah, tricks are for
No
kids.
girly boys. No, none of that fucking
No,
Bangkok
wow.
shit.
Yeah, what?
None of that.
All right.
But I
Why
digress.
would you
Topic.
take it there?
I don't know. Things happen. Crazy
Jesus.
nights. Anyway, so I had a couple friends in college, and I had a bunch of friends, but this certain group of friends, all about Pokemon. Like they loved it. They raved about it. They played the games a lot, like religiously. And so they're like, "Well, we're considering on trying to play this like D&D game, or like Pokemon tabletop RPG." So it wasn't really Dungeons and Dragons, but it was a specific like
It was the
rule set
Pokemon
for
version, yeah.
Pokemon. Yeah. It was cool. Like as an overall thing, it's kind of interesting. It's very long and drawn out because of like just how long fighting takes, and you guys all know how long combat takes typically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like when it's like you have like your action and then the Pokemon's action and then back and forth and then shit happens in between, like it kind of gets a little hectic. Also, I realized that I was not very experienced for this kind of thing. but they chose me because they didn't know anyone else who played like tabletop games, and they're like, "Yo, you're doing design stuff, so like maybe this will help flex your design like muscles or whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah," because like we worked on projects before, and they're like, "Yo, you're pretty decent." I'm like, "Fine, I'll try my hand at writing a story for you guys."
Oh, you ran the game.
I ran it. So really my first time getting into it was me DMing, and I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. But I think that some of the scenarios were kind of cool, but then like um I made poor decisions. Like I would say I ended up letting my players run too free, but that's like a little bit later if you guys want me to continue another one. But I won't forget, this was kind of a lesson that
Wait, hold on.
like
When you said you let them be too free, did it hurt like the narrative of the story, or it ended up just becoming too outrageous?
Um, I would say a little bit of both, but it ended up working out in my favor later, or I wanted it to be. Um, so all right, I can let this be the story. So, um, one of my players was getting way too out of hand, and he was doing a lot of bad shit. Like he was very evil. Like he went to
Hold on.
like
Compare this to like Luigi in our Fable campaign, where he just like killed his
no,
kid in the
he's worse than Johnny C.
Oh, jeez.
He was actually worse than Johnny C, and I let him be worse than Johnny C. But the problem was he was like legitimately earning the things that he was doing, and I actively tried to kill him. And like, because I can't really do it in like outright. I can't just kill him, be like, boom, you're fucking dead. Like, that ain't right. Like, oh, Zapdos is gonna come down and gonna fry your ass. No, that ain't right. Like, what did he do? He killed a lot of people. He participated in a lot of underground Pokemon fighting. That was to the death. Uh,
Jesus.
what else
Oh
did he
shit,
do?
Michael Vick.
Yes, he can, because
Well, that's what Pokemon really is.
there was a machine that was in game that was a Pokemon capture device. So even if a Pokemon was registered to another trainer,
The snag machine from
Oh.
Yes.
Pokemon Coliseum. Nice.
I'll tell you what, I literally threw everything at this motherfucker to not get it, and he got it. And like, he just got fucking powerful while everybody else like didn't take the risks and like, do whatever. And this guy was like, um, off on his own like tirade. And so I thought it was a great idea. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this could be fun. Maybe this could work in my flavor, because everybody at the table was pissed. So I ran like different like campaigns for everybody. It was kind of a pain, but it was interesting, especially with what I was trying to do. So like I think I had like two groups of two, and like I ran that guy solo. So I ran him solo. Um but then everybody was like, "Yo, this is kind of weird, like fucked up." Like just from like a friend standpoint, they're like, "Why are you giving him so much shit?" Later on down the line, I'm like, "Yo, they hate him so much, and he's starting to become a part of Team Rocket. Like that's how bad this guy
Oh,
was.
jeez.
He like was getting like he was doing all the wrong things." And I'm like, "You know what? It's fine." And so I started like I think at one point linking everybody together. And then so I forgot why we stopped. We had to stop for some reason. But then I revealed to them, I was like, "Yo, I was gonna make this guy the main bad guy for you guys." And they're like, "Wait, what?" It's like, "Oh yeah, you guys were gonna run into each other, and you would have had your shot at killing Michael." And they're like, "What? This is bullshit. I want to keep playing. I want to kill him," because they all hated his character fundamentally. Because like I think there was also like some kind of animosity, I think too, between like some of the players IRL.
Mhm.
So I think they also wanted to like take it out on him.
Gotcha.
Uh, so I'm like, "Yo, I'll totally exploit this for storytelling gain. Why not?" But I also learned that snatching things out of control of some people also isn't a big thing either. So like some scripted events, uh, like what was it? I had like some guy who couldn't get like this magic carp or some bullshit. For a story, that long convoluted story I'm not gonna get into, he kills himself. And
Oh Jesus.
what and I was trying to go for the whole gritty, like like this is the real world. My buddy didn't like it because he's like, I want a more like lighthearted adventure. And I was like, So that was kind of a lesson in me reading the audience on that the first time. And I feel like sometimes I still don't get it, but I'm still trying to work on it. So yeah, that was a huge lesson in designing for and knowing your audience, especially like when it comes to those scenarios. That was also long. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, you're good.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, Pokemon tabletop is fucking weird. And if any of my friends from college are listening to this, you know who you are. It was the best of times and it was the worst of times, and we played till like 5 in the morning and it hurt.
The good old days where you could play things past midnight and not be dead tired because you have to go to work the next day.
Yeah, it was pretty cool though. We got to since the school, like we were in the dorms, all of us. We all and then like they kept the school open 24/7, like for people to work and shit. And so like we would just commandeer like a classroom.
Hell
And we would
yeah.
like have like a whiteboard and shit.
Oh,
We had a
that's sick.
computer up for reference with speakers. It was pretty fucking dope.
That's nice.
That's fucking radical.
Yeah. All right, who's next?
Freeman, you got any? Any?
Yeah, I have a large theme of stories. So we told all the good ones in previous episodes, but
That's why
I wrote
I'm
down
trying to
all,
be quiet because I don't remember what I said.
I wrote down all of the big fails I wanted to talk about that we haven't mentioned so far, and one we may have mentioned, but I want to make us retell the story because it's fucking hilarious. But I guess I'll start with the shittiest one. So this is a tale of me knowing something's not going to work, but I have to do it because of who my character is. So in our current campaign that we're playing right now,
Fable
I
too.
based my character off of Megumin from Konosuba. And for any listeners who at this point don't know who Megumin is, she's this mage who thinks explosions are so fucking cool. I'm going to devote everything I do in life, all the magic I learn, all the skills I take up, it's all for the sake of casting a larger explosion. And I attempted to port that character into D&D, but I kind of diluted it a little bit because I realized it was very stupid.
Also,
So-
because there's no way to like funnel magic into a spell to
Yeah.
make it better.
There's like some feats you can take that make it better, but we'd have to get to like super late game for any of this matters, and I know how our campaigns work. So along
Hey,
the
man.
way, I determined that Fireball was the true explosion spell that was my character's endgame.
So,
But until we get there, I couldn't do it. And I had this character who longed to just make explosions, but I didn't have magic that was really capable of it. Occasionally a magic missile would do really well or whatever. But we hit whatever level where you get level 2 magic, and I pick up Scorching Ray. And I'm like, oh man, this is close. This is enough. This will be the explosion for now. And the first opportunity I had to fire it off, we were roaming through this forest looking for these, I guess it was these bandits that attacked this church that we were kind of aligned with. And we go into what looks like this cave, and we go downstairs, and we're just fighting a bunch of,
Oh,
I guess they're cultists.
yeah.
trying to remember exactly
The
what it was.
Scorm cultists.
The Scorn cultists. So we fight through the first room. It was very confusing. And then there's ghosts there, and we're like, fuck it, we'll run away. So we run deeper down. We get into this like chapel where, if I remember correctly, there's like oil bleeding from the walls or
So
something. I don't
yeah,
remember.
and
Because
one of the
you
guys
all-
was
ooze
there.
green slime.
No,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. It was one of the guys was down there, and he did a ritual, and he summoned the thing.
So he summons. In my mind, I remember it being a giant fire elemental. I'm not sure if it was something else.
Kind of like an oil fire elemental
It was
thing.
an oil fire. And in the heat of the moment, I'm sitting here like, I'm like
Heat
99%
because it's
sure.
fire.
I'm 99% sure fire attacks will A, not do anything to him, or B, like heal him and make him bigger. But my character doesn't know any better, and this is the first chance I have to use my most. And my character is very conceited. She's convinced she's famous, world-renowned, whatever, leader of our hero group. So of course I'm like, we're doing it. We're gonna fire off a Scorching Ray. I roll like big numbers to hit. I roll high damage, and it goes in. And Tiz like, as it's a fire enemy, it does absolutely nothing. And I sit there with a smile on his face, going, "Oh, I know, but I rolled really well." So internally, I got the win, even though I knew right from the get-go that it was going to be absolutely pointless.
This is also the monster that, when it was summoned, threw Luigi through 3 piers in the room you guys were in.
Oh yeah, he almost died from that first attack, and I was like, "Watch this."
Yeah, Luigi was crippled for weeks of game after that, where he couldn't walk anymore. That was sick, though.
Yeah, that was a very stupid
That
story.
was one of the few fights you guys have ever had that was not a direct win or loss. It was basically a draw because you guys ran away and the cave collapsed.
Yeah, so we didn't lose, is how I would want to classify that fight. Nobody got permanently injured, which is usually how our fights tend
Just
to end.
long-term injured.
Yeah, one person got long-term injured, but that person has like a history of long-term injury in this campaign.
Well,
So
you
we're
also
okay.
later on also got long-term.
Later
injured.
on. Actually, I want to tell that story.
Sure,
real quick.
yeah, I was just
So,
gonna say transition.
honestly, I don't remember what we were fighting, but all I remember happening was I hadn't contributed to the fight yet. It was before my first turn, and
it wasn't in the arena, right?
it was not in the arena. I'm trying to remember where this was.
Because Luigi was still injured when you got injured.
Yeah, where was this? I think this was after Knothole Island, so it may have been. It didn't involve us fighting the
was
bandits,
it in the
did it?
woods? Was it in the woods at Oakvale where you were going to find Ziggs or something, or one of the quests there, or
It may have been before that.
when you were going through?
Did we,
was
did
it
we fight
when
anything
you,
with swords when we went
when
to
you
the forest?
encountered the bandits led by the now possessed guy?
Yes, I think it was that fight. It was after, like, originally we had split up to deal with the bandits, then we grouped up, and then I got fucked
because
up.
that timing would either be that or the priests trying to upgrade you against your will.
So long story, this dude this is one NPC picks me. So he runs through our group and he just fucking crits, stabs me sword to the hilt through my chest. So Tyler runs over to knock this guy away. Or no, you roll. Did you roll to attack him or you rolled to heal me? But point is, you end up just like twisting the fucking sword in me.
Yeah, that was a little rough. You know, things don't always work out the way we want them to. All right.
Yeah, so Tim rolls a nat 20. You roll and then you roll like a 1 with a 1 to confirm, and then I have to roll like I forget it was just it wasn't a death save. It was just
Probably
how
like
fucked are you roll
or something.
And
like
of course I roll a 1 finally. I was just like, all right, game over.
Man,
This character's dead. Tragic death. I didn't do anything. But that was my favorite because I hadn't actually done anything that whole session, and then I immediately was like,
you
rolling
cast
death,
like
death
one
save.
spell, I think, because sometimes people are smart enough to target mages.
And you know what? That's what it was. I think I cast Magic Missile before doing Mage Armor like a fucking idiot, and I drew his attention.
Now that's not a problem because of your ability.
Except I consistently forget to use it, and we'll go a turn just risking it with no Mage Armor on because that's who I am.
Oh man!
But I have one more fail from that campaign if you guys want to talk about. So this is my favorite because I ended up making like 5 memes about it as it was happening. So at this point in the plot, we had just prevented this like bandit group from invading this town. And we knew that they had kind of taken their own.
This is between the first and second story, by the way.
Oh yeah, sorry.
For
this
context.
is yes for context. So we were trying to get a hold of the bandit leader because we knew he wasn't that bad of a guy and he could help us like disarm this whole situation. But he'd been taken captive and was on this boat that was leaving the island.
The boat, yes.
So we see these guys on shore. We beat them up. We go to take their boat, and we're like disputing, like, can we fit everyone on the boat? Leslie wants to take her wolf, and he's kind of heavy. And we're like, I don't think we can fit everyone.
Fuck water.
Do we leave someone behind? At this point, Tyler's like, nah, I'll walk on water. And the rest of us like, what?
Yeah.
And I forget, what did you cast?
Fucking walk on water, whatever the fuck that spell is.
So you cast on water, and you start running ahead of our boat, which was great. But we pull up on the side of the boat, and Tim, you're like, all right, how do you guys want to get on the boat? And that was our undoing, because me and Luigi climb. No, hold on. I'm trying to remember how it went. It was, me and Luigi climb up, or no, me and Val climb up. Leslie attempts to climb up. She falls into the water. And I'm trying to remember, she's not wearing heavy armor, is she?
No, because if Val had fallen in, she would have drowned for sure, because she was in heavy armor.
So me and Luigi jump down to try and help her. But we're struggling because no one in our party in this campaign has any strength at all. We are all Dex characters. So anytime a strength roll happens, it's like flip a coin whether we're all just too fucking weak to lift something. So we try to pull Leslie in the water and it doesn't work. So I'm like, all right, well, I took Tensor's floating disc or whatever it's called. So I can try to form a disc and then just like lift her out of the water with it. And you're like, Friedman, you know you might just sever her arm if you do this. And I'm like, I'm more likely to like save her doing it this way than actually trying to pull her out of the water. So I barely pull it off. We get her back on the boat, and then she climbs up successfully. Then I climb back up successfully, and then Luigi fails his climb, and he falls back into the water. At which point, without anyone taking a second to breathe, Leslie screams, "I jump in after him." And I'm just like, I just pulled you out of the water. All while I think, Tyler, you and Val may have been fighting guys on the surface or something.
Yeah,
because the dwarves were on the boat.
we're on deck.
Yes.
Because remember, you guys you made your way down, and that was where the half elf was, and then you guys freed Rowan.
And at this point in the plot, I had just unlocked Fireball. So the second I get back up to the deck, I set the whole thing on fire. And it was one of those, like, we saved the city type moments. And for anyone who's what I'm referencing is that SpongeBob meme with, we did it, Patrick. We saved the city, but the city's on fucking fire the whole time.
We did it.
That was how we resolved that conflict after everyone finally got on the stupid boat. But it was one of my favorite nights. So that's just make memes about, like, what's the one meme? What's his name from Simpsons?
Wait,
I don't
The
know.
Chuckles I'm in Danger Kid. Ralph, is that his name?
Oh, Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah, Ralph.
The meme of him just launching headfirst through a window.
Oh yeah.
I just kept making these about like different members of our party just jumping right back into the ocean.
Jesus Christ.
That actually reminds me, I should go back through the messages and see, because you make memes of some of the best moments.
I need to just create a collage of all the memes I made for this campaign and post it.
That'd make a great wedding gift, Freeman. There you go.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Just fucking...
The gift of memes.
Yeah.
The gift of memes is eternal.
I've made so many of these stupid memes.
I'm just scrolling through now. Because a lot of the pictures that come through in our group are tend to be memes related to D&D.
Like half. All right, yeah, I got a bunch of my memes here. I'll assemble them for us so everyone can view the memes at the end of the campaign. Does anyone else want to tell another story?
Aiden, do you have another one?
Oh god, I've got a few.
Nice.
So this story is about how I really don't like dungeon masters sometimes.
Hey man, no, I'm just kidding.
No. This is another one that Tyler was there for.
Oh boy.
Maybe not. He was present. Maybe his character wasn't, but he was here.
Can I take a guess?
Mansion.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking.
Wait. What were you thinking of?
I was thinking of the stupid dice flower puzzle thing. That turned out to be
no. That's another one. We're not gonna do that because that was fucking stupid. But this was my first instance of like, yo, your fucking dungeon master is not God. Actually, sometimes he's an idiot.
Damn.
And I get that he has the power, but sometimes they're just assholes that want to fuck your day up because they can. So we're in a mansion. I'm a druid. I know fairy fire. Right? Fairy fire.
What does that
It
do?
has some very interesting properties to it, like being able to see through magical darkness. Okay?
Okay.
This is very important.
So
to
you
the
should,
story.
in theory, be
remember
able to
this.
see through the magical darkness.
I should, in theory, be able to see through magical darkness. We're in the kitchen. There's some puzzly things around. There's apples that turn you red. And there's fucking some other shit that turns you other colors. There's a pantry that is just completely shrouded in darkness. And me, a druid, and also an intellectual, go, aha! I know fairy fire. Cast fairy fire. Is there anything in the magical darkness? No, there's nothing in the magical darkness. All right, cool. I start wandering about the pantry and looking for shit. I am now dead.
What?
I am dead.
Nani?
What the fuck? So GM, I say, what the fuck? I
And what
know
was their
fairy
answer?
fire. Why can't I see in magical darkness? No, 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 no. Naive druid that knows fairy fire. That was super magical darkness.
Oh my
It's not just normal
God.
darkness; it's advanced darkness.
This is advanced magical darkness.
Oh my God.
God damn it!
So that was the first time I ever started a fight with my dungeon master.
The first out of many.
The first of many.
Wait, so did you
I
have
have-
to re-roll a character after that incident?
Yes,
Oh my god!
that character was dead after that.
How much
I
time
didn't
had you
feel good
invested into
about
that character?
That character it hit 2 sessions. It wasn't terrible.
Oh, okay, that's not that bad.
But it was like it wasn't terrible, but it's like come on.
Yo,
that kind of sucks.
killing characters. I'm still never gonna forget killing Luigi. That was some wild shit.
I was in shock that Luigi actually wanted his character to die.
Oh well, yeah, that was something that I knew. I guess he just wasn't feeling it, and I could understand.
Yeah, but like
that.
he didn't. It wasn't like very. At least it wasn't obvious to me that he wanted to die. So like when he died, I was shocked, and then when he's like, "Yeah, I was happy about it," I was even more shocked.
And the thing is, though, he wasn't supposed to die there. We were gonna find out which he did. Him and I scripted his death later, but like it was very strange because that night we had decided like, all right, we'll figure out something. Like just get through tonight and like we'll talk about it afterwards. And like he dies during this encounter.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, this is kind of creepy. But then Val leaves to go do something. And so I take control of her character. And I'm like, well, what are the chances that I'd get a nat 20, right?
To keep him alive.
I'm like, you know what? Like it could work. Like this is magic, right? Like, like she does a lot of healing magic. Her whole thing is based on courage. So like Athena could totally be like, about that, right? Sure, why not? Let's give it a. But I'm like, he's only coming back if I roll a 20, and I rolled it, and my I don't think my jaw ever hit the fucking table so hard.
All right, so now that I understand this, Luigi was going through a roller coaster of emotions because he was happy his character died, and then suddenly shocked that wait, I spoke to you about killing him, and you're gonna bring him back.
Yeah, and it's like, shit, because it's all for the plot, man. It's all for the plot. Because I could have left him dead, but I was like, nah, I gotta let fate decide. But I did think killing him at the point that I did was a little bit more impactful, especially after everything that was done, right? Because I thought this would be a good thing for Val. Well, not good thing for Val's character, but like, imagine performing a literal miracle, because that's what it was. In game and in real life, it was a fucking miracle. All just to die again. And it's just like, what's the point? And I was hoping that would be like the catalyst to like shake her faith, right? When in reality, she almost lost her patron because she ran away from the kitchen fight. Yeah, long story short.
I'm remembering the night this went down because we were living in the same house, but we were discording on separate computers. So like I came over to your room to see the 20 because you needed me to confirm that it happened.
Yes. Dude, that was some wild, that was crazy shit. And who else did I kill? Last game I played with Aiden. I killed someone, or you know what? I didn't kill him. The other Tim technically killed him.
Other Tim technically killed him, and it was decided by the gods. There was nothing you could do.
Fate decided that
minus 20
he
from
was
the
going
gods.
to die, dude. It was, and honestly, friggin' Aiden did everything he could to try to save the guy, and nothing.
Damn.
Like there's nothing that could be done.
It's okay. He was a fucking asshole, anyways.
That was pretty cool though. So I had a special guest show up in my last game with Ed and my other buddies. We got
I
our
was triggered. It triggered me.
yeah, that was the
This
point.
particular guest has never played D&D before.
Yeah,
and
he
But
has
never
were they
played
excited to
D&D.
play though?
Has refused up until this point.
No,
Okay,
he
this is not a willing participant then.
no. Oh
no,
no,
he
So,
was because this motherfucker got a Gundam.
Yeah, so-
Ooh.
Excuse me.
So, it's not that much spoilers for you guys. But like basically the Russians were able to come up with um
Metal
mech
Gear.
tech. Yeah,
Ah, the Overwatch
Oh.
plotline. Gotcha.
yeah, pretty
Metal
much.
Gear.
It launches nukes.
Right.
No.
But so I thought it was great because so for years, right, our friend Michael was trying to get Tim, the other Tim, to play D&D with us, and forever he's like, no, like I don't want to, like I'm only gonna play like a certain one, like I only want to do this, and then so he got teased like, yo, what if we do like a Magic the Gathering one because he likes Magic so much. He's like, maybe, I don't know. And then so I brought him the proposition. I'm like, Tim, you like mechs a lot, don't you? He's like, Bubba, of course I do. Right, of course. That's a stupid question. And you have fantasies of punching Michael in the face, don't you? And he's like, again, another stupid question. How would you feel to do this in a fake setting pretend? What do you mean? What if I say you play Dungeons and Dragons with us and you get to pilot a mech? And he's like, well, and maybe you beat up Mike. And he's like, do I get to kill Mike? I'm like, that's entirely up to you. If you're able to kill him. But yeah, man, you could do literally whatever you want. And he's like, all right, I'm game. That's all it took. The mech and the potential of killing Michael. That's all it took. And I'm like,
Beautiful.
geez, is it this easy to manipulate people in other things?
Yes.
It
Welcome
is.
to
Just give
Psychology
people
101.
what
Yeah.
they want and they will respond.
Yes. I thought it was interesting. And also I was kind of interested in seeing how this dynamic would play out because Aiden is somewhat seasoned now. But Michael and our other 3 friends, especially 2 of them, they're very seasoned, right? They've been playing for a long time consistently. So I was like, what if I were to give him a fresh player, like give him all the basic rules and all this stuff and like a few hints here and there. How would that deal like against people who are seasoned, right? And I was like, I balanced it out to be like, okay, like it's one of those like hard encounters where if 1 or 2 people drop, it's not surprising, and lo and behold, that's what happened though.
Yep.
It took a little long, I guess, because of just like just the nature of things, but I thought it was kind of interesting.
Having to have another player there actually making decisions against your group is probably what made it take a little bit long. But I thoroughly enjoyed that whole encounter.
Yeah, I mostly
I-
did it for the surprise aspect though.
Mainly because it's like it didn't. I have to think about why I enjoyed that encounter so much, but I really appreciated that whole bit. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I thought it was really cool, and it didn't. It doesn't. That didn't feel like. Like yes, the dungeon master is making decisions, and they're a human player, and they're playing against you. But like having an actual other player that has their own interests that may be outside of the dungeons master's like vision is, I think, a little bit more interesting. Not that those are entirely feasible all the time, but I think it was a really cool experience.
Tim has a story like that.
The story like what?
Oh, bringing in other people into certain campaigns as a surprise, and it
All right. Well,
completely being Out of the ordinary.
All right, so I've told stories previously about my friend Ed.
The legend himself.
Ed is a bit of a wild card, and he's popped into Fable, Fable 2 actually. I don't think he ever showed it up in Fable 1.
I don't think he did Fable 1.
In Fable 2, he's been around a couple times and he's played a character. The first time he played a guard, nothing too crazy. Second time was this past New Year's. Unfortunately, it only lasted for about 20 minutes because of other people showing up and Friedman not being there because he was sick, and it just didn't work great. But for one brief moment, so I mentioned while Friedman was telling the story earlier about him almost dying, there was a quest where they were outside of Oakvale. They were trying to hunt down some bandits, and they kill the bandits, and one of them is acting really weird, and Luigi walks over and picks up his sword. And I say, Luigi, roll will save. And then he failed. And I went, okay. And then Luigi started having nightmares and going crazy, which led to one of the memes I actually did find in our squad chat, where there was the night at the bordello in the woods where...
Oh my god. All right, so...
A possessed Luigi woke up. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you can tell, and then I'll cut in with my perspective on the story.
A possessed Luigi woke up and went around and tried to kill the first party member he could find. Which in this case was, I believe, Tyler? Or no, was it you, Freeman?
No,
it
Friedman.
was me.
Yeah, okay.
So,
because you can say this.
So I had put my staff on the door so it would knock over if anyone tried to come in, and that was my security
by
system
the way,
for the night.
By the way, so they weren't sleeping at some like bustling bordello. If you know where Fable 1's bordello is, it's in the middle of Darkwood. In Fable 2 in my game, that place has become Deadwood, and it's 10 times worse, and it's abandoned. So it's an abandoned bordello in the middle of a haunted magical forest.
That people may or may not have died in the past.
Yes.
Potentially haunted. Anyway, so I set up my staff against the door, so if anyone tries to come in during the night, I will know. So Luigi comes through the door, and my character up until this point has been very oblivious to Luigi's obviously deteriorating mental health. So I'm just like not really thinking of it, and I think the staff knocks over, it makes a loud noise, and it wakes up whoever was on guard. So I don't know if it was Tyler.
I think it was Tyler, because I was like, Tyler. It wasn't you?
It was me.
Yeah,
Dio.
okay, it was you. Yeah, because Tyler was the one who's like, I don't need to sleep. I'll just stay awake because a cleric can pull like an all-nighter with an ability.
Of course.
So I think you come running in, and then I don't know if there was some kind of an altercation, but all I remember is my character wakes up, and I'm just fucking furious that you guys woke me up. So I go up to Luigi, who's woken me up, and I just slap him across the face and say, I'm trying to sleep. Which ended up being the exact Batman meme I made like 5 minutes after that. But I like slap Luigi and I just go back to bed, despite the fact there was an attempt on my life that night.
In classic Megami fashion.
Classic Megami fashion. Just
but
oblivious
also,
to the rest of the cast.
But also, the meme you sent was of the Simpsons meme, where everyone's standing around cheering while it's just Tyler and Luigi fighting.
Wait, was that what it was from? Or was that a more recent?
I thought that was from that.
No. That was from when Luigi's most recent possession issue. I think. That one was way more recent.
No, it all blends together.
Hold on. The problem is I use 2 different apps to make these memes.
Well, regardless, so that was a brief story, but so yes, that happened in the woods. Cut to New Year's, and the team has just finished a battle to basically chase a bunch of elves out of a town, and they're celebrating and getting ready for the next quest. And because Ed's around, I go, okay, time to bring Luigi's possession to a head. So I started having Luigi and Ed each roll d20s, and whoever won got to take over Luigi's body for like 5 minutes. So as soon as Ed takes over, he just starts screaming about killing everybody and like just spouting gibberish. So Tyler and Val? Was it? Tyler and
Yes.
Val, being the only party members with any strength, drag Luigi out into the alleyway, and basically the way it was working was Luigi didn't really think he was possessed. It was almost like
He just
possession.
didn't remember the time when he was possessed, right?
No, it was like possession bipolar, where it just didn't seem weird to him. Like, he was just reacting. Like, he would switch up into Ed mode and go crazy and then switch back to normal and be like, oh, that was fine. I didn't do anything weird. He would be like, he would roll to take over again and he'd be like, what, guys? I'm not possessed. What's wrong? Who's possessed? Who do we need to find that's possessed? Because everyone was like, we need to fucking chase out the spirit. We need to, what's it called? Oh my god, when you call in a priest to get rid of a demon. Exorcism.
Exorcist, yeah.
Yeah, because so Val and Tyler are like, we need to exorcise whatever's possessing Luigi, and Luigi's like, who's possessed, guys? We can do the exorcism. Who's possessed? Because he just didn't think he was possessed. But anytime Ed took over, he would just start screaming and attacking everybody and going absolutely nuts, which is what Ed's favorite thing to do in any game ever played is. Thankfully, the party managed to subdue Luigi, and we stopped pretty quick. But yeah, there was a moment where Ed, and it was in front of their mentor and the mayor of the town, that Ed rolled to take over and just started shouting and screaming and summoning the guards. And so Val and Tyler had to just drag Luigi's body out into the alleyway and just slam him against a wall and get him to shut up.
Yeah.
Luckily, they managed to get to the nearby church and finally exorcise Luigi, the ghost of Twinblade. The source of Freeman and Tyler's shared weapons back in Fable 1.
Yeah.
Quite a saga.
But yeah, so that's the saga of Twinblade ended. But yeah, that was a long-running thing where like Luigi couldn't sleep at night, and it culminated in like attacking Freeman in their sleep. But yeah, that was one of the longest running plot threads that I think I've ever had going.
Yeah, that actually was a majority of the campaign he was dealing with that.
Because you guys found it during Oakvale Minor Quest time.
Yeah.
And it didn't get resolved until you were at Hook Coast. So yeah, it was pretty wild, but it was a lot of fun to have a long running thing where sometimes it'd be like, oh, Luigi, by the way, you don't sleep very well.
But I was just like, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, Ed was popping off.
But it's just kind of how he is. Like, I remember
that is how it is.
Like, the second campaign I played was the vampire campaign with you guys, and Ed's character was the single most Ed thing I've ever heard of. He played... So all of us came from very different backgrounds in this vampire campaign, but Ed was this... how do I put it?
He put Max into having servants, so he had one, like, god-tier servant who could do anything for us.
Like, take Christian Bale in American Psycho, but, like, he's also Harvey Weinstein. Like... Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. He had this servant who was constantly getting him like children from South America and cocaine from other parts of the world, and it was just like he was constantly on this drug trip all the time, which made it hard to be like. It wasn't hard to be in a game with him. It made it hard for our characters to be in a party with him, is what it was. Because we'd also do irrational stuff, like we'd roll up to a base, and then he would attempt to like steal the car to get away because he just didn't want to be involved in the plot line. So we'd have to just deal with Ed's mutiny all the time. But I'm not gonna lie, it's fun to play with him. It's just you gotta be prepared for it.
Yeah. I mean, I've told stories about Ed running a game too, where like I took my city into another dimension and then he told everybody, or like the +20 from the gods, or the Pegasus loves me. Like those are all Ed stories from Ed DMing, and they can only exist with Ed DMing. And
quick reminder to our listeners, all of these stories are in our earlier D&D episodes. So if you want to hear all those, feel free to go back and listen.
Yeah, go back. That's part of why I'm being pretty quiet.
Clickety-clack that like button.
Oh, Jesus.
Hit subscribe, download Raid Shadow Legends, install NordVPN, you know the good shit.
Ah, God.
Raid Shadow Legends is the whatever.
It's the leading mobile RPG.
It's
Over
the
60
most
characters.
downloaded RPG. 10 million downloads, 6 months.
Look
They
at
give
these
us
sick
money. Go play the
graphics.
game.
I will say that seemed like it only lasted like 2 weeks of them spending every dollar they had on advertising. and
I
it's
know, they're
already
still
gone.
I'm
doing
still
it.
seeing
They're
minor,
still- they're
minor
still doing it.
YouTubers get it.
Oh. I
There's
haven't
one I saw
seen.
recently. They did like a full minute-long skit, and the last 2 minutes of the video was literally just the Raid Shadow Legends script being read out.
Oh, okay. Because I haven't seen like the ads on YouTube in like a week or two, and none of my YouTubers have mentioned it outside of that video I watched of Giguk the other day. But he was making fun of it. He wasn't.
He
actually
was parodying
sponsored.
it pretty hard.
He
Yeah.
kept coming back to it too. Like Jesus.
That's what he does. He picks a joke, and he hasn't like I love Giga, but he hasn't figured out the rule of 3, where you tell a joke once, you tell it twice, and then the third time is the last time it's funny. He's convinced that you can tell a joke 4 times and it's funny all 4 times.
As long as the
problem is
words are different.
You hit the 4th one, and you're like, okay, now I'm tired of this, and now I
Please
don't think
stop.
the first 3 were funny anymore, and he hasn't figured that out.
Speaking of
Anyway.
haven't figured it out. Damn it! I was hoping someone could pick up that transition.
All right, so I got 2 more on my list. One is really
right.
short, and one is really fun and will involve Tyler. Because I don't know if we told the story already. But the first one was in our recent WoW-based campaign that Luigi was running.
Oh yeah, okay.
We had I think it was session 1 or 2. This happened.
By the way, this is the second time that Luigi has started a WoW-based story campaign for me, Freeman, and Val that did not last beyond a few sessions for various reasons.
No. The first one went on for like maybe it was like a month or 2. We were playing.
Freeman, that's not a lot of sessions.
Look, at the time, it was my first game. It felt
Okay,
like
that's
a lot.
that's fair, but considering
I had
we
a lot
only
of fun.
actually did like 2 or 3 quests before we stopped, and this one was even shorter.
You are correct. So this one was probably. Okay, this is not the shortest because the one we did after only lasted 1 session before we ended up changing our schedules.
Real quick, Freeman, did I tell the story of what I did in this game?
No, we hadn't started this game the last time.
Oh, excellent! I'll tell
did,
the story.
D&D Stories.
All right, keep going.
So this was just a stupid one. I want to commend Luigi on his ability to adapt NPCs as he needs. Like in our very first campaign, he had this whole fight encountered, and all of us rolled really well to sneak up on these guys. And suddenly it became this interrogation where he had to figure out how much information did these like dumb lackeys they were supposed to kill actually know, and it derailed his plotline a bit. But in this campaign, we're all playing these like decayed zombie people, and we run up to this guy who he doesn't have a mouth. So he's signing to us, like not like sign language, but he's just saying like I'm okay. So I walk up to him, and everyone else is talking, and I look at him and I start signing like, "Are you okay?" And Luigi looks at me and he just flips me off and he just taps on his ears. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, he can hear and he thinks I'm a fucking idiot. And it was one of these like really humbling moments. Luigi played it off so well that I wanted to commend him because I was just like dying of laughter after the fact, and I felt so embarrassed. Like I've never felt embarrassed playing D&D before, but I felt embarrassed in that moment.
I'm mute. I'm not deaf, you fucking idiot.
It's like I can't talk. My ears work just fine.
Speaking of that game, though, where we were all undead, one of our first main quests once we got out of the starting area was we went to an undead guy who performed lots of evil experiments, of course. And he's like, hey, man, the humans have been bothering the shit out of me recently. Why don't you guys go annoy the humans for a little while? And I'm like, okay, so me, Val, and Freeman, we head out. We're like exploring the territory north of this town, or where this guy is. And we come, and I'm like, oh, the only thing that they have out here that's like military at all is this tower. They have a tower with like a bunch of guards in there, and people, like, this is where they gather for the surrounding area. So if we kill everyone in this tower, we'll totally like slow down the humans in the area.
Oh my god, I forgot about this.
So Luigi's like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you guys could do that. So we go to the tower and we kill everyone on the first floor, and I'm like, I forget if we like scouted up the stairs or like cast magic or something.
I want to say did one of us have like a familiar we sent up or something?
Yeah, something like that. So we found out that the second floor, so we killed like 4 or 5 guards downstairs after we finally got into this tower. We tried to sneak in, we failed, we killed like 4 people to get in. So we found out that the entire upper floor, the next floor up, I should say, was full of beds, and most of them were occupied with soldiers. And I'm like, oh. Well, you know how we solve this problem, because we're evil characters. we just burn the tower down and kill everybody.
I think we came to like a unanimous agreement that it would
I-
probably be fine.
this
We were
was
concerned, was it going to draw attention? We weren't concerned was killing people bad. We're like, is this going to draw people to us and then they'll follow
Well,
us back?
I was like, we'll do this and we'll just run away. We'll just set stuff that'll burn slow. Just block the stairs so everyone is trapped upstairs. And God, it sounds so horrible. But that was my plan. And Luigi's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, we set everything on, we set it on fire and we run away. And as we're running away, Luigi just kind of looks down and is like, oh my God.
He was hoping we weren't going to.
He's like, well, now I have to figure out what you guys are going to do. Because if you'd finished exploring the tower, on the 3rd floor, there was a prisoner you were supposed to free.
Well,
And that was the plot hook.
I'm
for the
like,
next
wait a
plot
minute.
line.
How are we supposed to know that? There's no way we were supposed to know that. He's like, yeah, but you were supposed to, like, go up there. Or no. Didn't the
supposed
guy...
to go up there?
Did the guy send us out to, like, find a prisoner or something? Maybe he didn't send us out to
I don't
stop
know.
the humans, Friedman. He sent us out to, like, find some guy.
I honestly don't.
I don't remember. Well, for whatever reason, we, like, either had an idea that someone was in the tower, but they'd be fine, or something like that. But yeah, we burned down the
So
tower
if-
and killed Luigi's guy that was tied to a quest.
Damn. Well,
But it ended up being fine because we only played a few more sessions, got into the Horde, and then immediately stopped playing that game because Leslie, and then, yeah. But yeah, that was absolutely hilarious.
goddamn. So much for that.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
Look,
fine. The
it's-
guy
it's-
was happy with us.
Look, it's no better than the campaign that we ended up switching into with Luigi for literally one session, where he put these NPCs who were literally innocent bystanders, and we were just convinced they're the murderers. Let's just fucking kill them, and we killed them without even a second
Wait,
guess.
what was this?
Remember the campaign where I created like the sharpshooter goblin? We went out
No.
on a mission to go like find something. We found this cart that we thought was getting raided or something.
I don't remember
So we
this
just
at
start-
all.
So we just start killing the people who were raiding the cart, and it turns out they were unrelated to the attack. And the one who was left alive was like, "We just came by and you started killing us." Like that was our
Damn, well-
session one. We full on murder hoboed it, and then we abandoned that.
I
campaign.
so don't remember this campaign. Wow.
Oh, jeez.
But you don't like we ditched the undead campaign, and Luigi was like, "Make new characters for the WoW campaign." But then, literally the next week, we had to shuffle everyone's schedule around.
No, I just remember ending the WoW campaign.
Damn.
I totally don't remember just ambushing random people at all. All I remember is
Was
just
that
ending
Ted?
Luigi's game because Leslie's game was going to start, and then that didn't happen, and then we shifted schedules, and now
What
it's
game?
Tyler. Yeah, well, you're welcome.
So hey, man.
I saved everyone from that game.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
It was a team effort.
That's bullshit. I'm the one who pulled the trigger and was like,
No.
Leslie, don't do the game.
Hey, man. I also tried.
Yeah, well, I succeeded.
Get the fuck outta here.
Aiden, you've been quiet for a while. Do you have any more?
And
Yeah, I do.
oh, you do? You got one? I would say
I do, but what are you gonna say?
the last one that you and I played together in Mike's campaign about how we spent the whole session trying to get into the girls' steam room.
Oh my god!
What the
We
fuck?
made so many rolls
Oh.
just to get in there, and we finally did it. And I don't even
And-
think we saw anything.
Nah, we didn't.
After
it was
all
all
that-
for naught. It was all for naught.
Like people were turning invisible. We had to do a thing where like I had to snatch a key, and we had to make sure the key was invisible. But that's like, yo, we want the whole squad in there, so we had to try to get everybody invisible and like make sure the girls didn't notice when we were in there.
Oh my God.
Our one buddy was astral projected himself.
Oh my
Like
goodness!
he went into a
Oh
deep
no! That
trance.
was the beginning. That was the first thing that happened.
Was
so
that the
our-
first thing? Really?
Yes, he was like, I'm gonna meditate, and and the DM's like, oh, all right, okay, Yeah, you can roll for that. Rolls a nat 20. Yo, you astral project. He's just like, oh, okay. So he starts wandering the fuck around. Just around the castle. We're supposed to be doing espionage to kill the king. We're killing the king. Nope.
Yeah.
Finds the girl's the girl's washroom, and he's like, oh, mystery monte. I don't know what that means in French. Don't, if anybody knows
Omelette
French
du
out there.
fromage.
Omelette
Same
du
thing.
fromage.
Goddamn.
Baguette. Same shit.
So he comes back. It's like, yo, I got a mission, and I'm like, okay. The group is here. We're discussing it, and like I feel like we weren't really on board, but I eventually came to the conclusion that fuck it. I cast invisibility on myself and my brethren, and then we go on an adventure
Lol.
To the girls' washroom.
to the girls' washroom.
Oh my god.
And
This is an anime plotline here.
So there's a guard out front of the washroom, and we're like, "Fuck, what are we gonna do?" So we like make a little distraction, but it's like not enough. We can't like pick the lock in time, whatever. So instead of doing that, my compatriot, who is very well known for not being the most sanitary of fellows, goes down the pants and gets some sweat gathered up, wipes it on the
goodness.
guard's nose,
Wow.
profusely vomits,
Oh my
He's like-
god.
runs into the washroom, and we just follow his ass in.
Oh yeah, that was his way of casting grease. Yeah, that's right. So the actual
I can't
You
spell
think
grease,
casting grease?
he would go down his pants and like get the famunda, and then he would throw it at people.
What the fuck am I listening to right now?
Yo, so prior to all of this happening, we were at another point prior in the story, we were like, we were arrested by guards, and he was wrapped up in a blanket by the guards and was being dragged back over their shoulders, and it was
leaving a trail
was
of like
leaking
sweating grease.
like that's how disgusting this character was.
And he's just
And
with
I-
your
Sounds
typical
fucking
neck
gross.
beard.
It
With the
was really
fedora.
disgusting. What was his
Yeah.
name?
Oh God, I can't remember. I gotta ask Felipe.
Oda-kun.
Otakun, that's
Oh my
right.
god.
Jesus.
It was the best.
He was
God,
he
that
was
sounds
just
terrible.
he was just weeb garbage that leaked grease and sweat and was
Remember-
just
And before he like
The
when he was never
worst.
spoke to a lady, he was just like, I'm sorry, my lady, I'm sorry, I'm
Milady.
sorry.
Jesus.
my lady
Yeah.
fedora wearing greasy son of a bitch is what he was.
And when he would draw lewd pictures all the time, and they'd be called the sacred text.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, the
Wait,
sacred
him or his
text.
character?
Both,
Oh
Yes.
God.
because my friend's really good at drawing. So like a lot of the times he would just be spent there like he. All right, he's literally Leslie. Sometimes he just drew all the fucking time.
Listen, if he wanted to make a career as a hentai artist, he'd be able to make it.
Oh, God.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Yo.
yeah, that was an adventure. That was a thing that happened in D&D. Another thing that happened in D&D though is the adventure to Whittly Scud's magical kingdom.
Oh my.
Excuse me?
Wow.
Does this warrant? Is this really warranted a story?
I mean, yo,
Damn.
we spent a lot of time there, Tyler.
I'm upset because this is like the second time I've been railroaded by the same dude. into a place that I didn't want
Yes.
to go to.
Damn.
All
And
right,
I'm
so
saying this out in the open because he knows this. And
that's
if you're
fine.
gonna listen, he knows.
Speaking of railroading, how we as a party ended up in Whittly Scud's magical kingdom. We were in a port town. We were doing things for the Marines of this port town. And we're like, yo, we're gonna get a boat and go be pirates. Okay? Alright. So we do some stuff, get some money, go to another town, get some money, and then we're like, yo, we're going to the next town. Okay, fantastic. You're walking. You're walking for a really long time. You're pretty sure you're going in the right direction, but it's been like weeks. You're out of rations. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? All right, we forage the forest for food to continue our journey to this next town. Our compatriot comes back with some pretty good mushrooms. We make some mushroom stew. Bam! Whittly Scud's magical kingdom. The sky is purple, the rivers are running with lemonade, and I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore.
Yeah, it gets pretty wild from there on.
We meet some gnomes. They have gnome leaf. Everybody gets high.
Yeah.
No Malik.
So that's where I got Gnome Leaf from, if you guys were wondering.
Gotcha.
We go up a mountain. There's shit in the mist.
The 1,000
We get attacked every fucking 30 goddamn minutes.
Damn.
We train with a cyclops. I learn a dark power from a deity because I'm just shady like that.
Eh.
It's man, fucking don't ever derail a campaign like that.
Like, how many sessions did this last for?
A
Oh,
lot.
several. It was
Oh my
several
God.
sessions. Like where we had a goal, we were going in a direction. Nope, you're Whittly Scud's magical kingdom, and just shit's insane.
Did it have
There-
any bearing on the overarching plotline, or is it just a fun side
Absolutely
story?
not. Absolutely
Oh,
not. Had
God.
zero bearing. And then when we got out of that, when we leave Whittly Scud's magical kingdom, completely new plot line. We have
Yeah.
no idea what's happening. We don't know anybody. We're just found by a caravan in a snowy field somewhere. And it's
Just
like,
reset the story.
well, what the fuck have we been doing for the last 4 or 5 months? I don't fucking know. Do you?
Oh my god.
So
Yeah,
that was
in-game
Whittly
and
Scud's
IRL.
magical kingdom.
Yeah, that was a rough cycle.
That was.
But you know, that wasn't as bad as Strahd though. And I think I already
Oh,
told
I've
the
heard.
story of
I've heard
Strahd,
horror
though.
stories of Strahd.
Yeah. Like, I love my friend a lot. And we talked to him about this already. So it's already like known that it wasn't a popular idea when we got shoehorned into this, because going into Strahd, I had just been a new player in this campaign. So I was like, whatever, I'm just a new guy, so like whatever I get thrown into is like fine for me. But for everybody else who had already been in the campaign for 2 years, they finally got this fucking boat so they can go wherever they want to, and then they get thrown into Strahd, where literally it's the most depressing thing of all time. Where encounters are every 30 minutes. So like if a place takes 2 hours to get to, you'll get attacked 4 times at least.
Oh, damn.
Jeez.
And if a nat 20 is rolled, Strahd shows up and he chucks a fireball at your party and then fucks off. That happened at least 3 times.
Yikes.
Someone on in our party died. We were able to bring him back through dark magic. And for the first, like, I guess, I don't know, 3 nights in game, we couldn't sleep because the only place that we were allowed to sleep was in this like chapel place, and the priest kept his son downstairs and wouldn't shut the fuck up. It's like, nope, you're not allowed to sleep because this kid screaming keeps you up. And I'm like, nigga, what? It was just not. It wasn't the best time. So yeah, getting shoehorned into things without, especially when you had a direction, doesn't make any sense.
So has everybody watched Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it on this
Does
podcast.
everybody
Yeah.
remember how season 8 was a super shitty shoehorned season there?
What?
Don't do that with your
I-
D&D campaigns.
Vaguely remember.
Vaguely remember.
Man, I
Moral of
should
the
have a
story,
dragon
don't
show
be-
up.
Don't be Game of Thrones season 8.
Damn.
I mean, true. Fucking, what is Dungeons and Dragons?
It's
Satan's
only the
game.
most glorious. I mean,
Satan's
yeah,
It is
game.
Satan's game.
Yes.
1000.
it
That's
is.
what my
If-
dad would
if
let
you
me
ever-
play when I was younger. Well, no, he didn't think it had to do with anything with Satan. He heard stories of like, I don't know, kids killing their parents or some shit like that.
Jeez.
Jesus.
And they're like, oh, they blame it, on D&D because it's a cult thing.
Like I
And
said,
I'm like, I'm
Satan's
sure
game.
that's not what it is.
Listen, children, if you're out there and you want to play D&D, just remember, one day you're going to wake up in your basement in a pentagram of blood, and there's no going back. That's all I have to say.
because D&D, so don't play
All,
D&D.
all because of D&D. Because you embraced the devil's stories.
Jesus.
The devil gene.
The devil, yep. Wait, where's
Much
that
like
from?
the devil's lettuce. You can't touch it.
Yeah, no devil's
It'll
lettuce.
make you kill your parents and then
Oh my
kill
God.
yourself.
Oh my god.
But before that, turn you communist.
It'll also make you a communist. Yes. Correct, Tyler. 10
Yeah.
points to Gryffindor.
Oh my god.
I digress.
But yeah, no, it's fun shit. I don't know. I've been liking some of the stuff that's been going on. I like the last thing that I did with you guys, Tim and Freeman.
Yeah, we finished our first quest.
Yeah. It was
Oh, you're talking about our current campaign. I was like, first quest, we totally finished a lot more in your last campaign, but I forgot. We're talking about the new one.
Yeah, the new one where it's a little bit more spoopy focused.
I like it. So I want to tell a minor story inside of your story. So my character's a bard, but he has speakers on him, and part of his gimmick is he's got this soundboard. So like every spell has an associated song to it. So you know what? I'll actually just bring up the soundboard now because this is nice and fun. But
Yay.
anytime
God.
like something creepy would happen, like we would just start playing the X-Files theme because fucking why not? And it made the whole thing a lot more funny.
I didn't realize this is a Steam app that you have, Freeman, because it just popped
Yes.
up on Steam that you launched.
Yo,
While I'm
I
playing
Play so
Soundpad.
clearly.
I want
It-
this.
It gives it. I think it was
want
like
it now.
I got it was like $1 during the Steam sale, but it was just like the original idea was just like, oh, just play Lucio music whenever I'm doing something like ooh boost you or something. But then I was like, let me find something for every song, and I think my favorite one is whenever I use Thunderwave, we'll play Thunderstruck, and it's always really hype because I'll play it before I roll the dice. There's this anticipation of is it going to hit or not.
It was pretty cool.
It's pretty great.
But it was mostly I was spamming the X-Files theme because the first session we did ended up being super creepy, which was really well done.
It was hilarious. It's like I would deliver this line, and then it's like super somber, super depressing, and then and we all start
You
dying.
see a
because it's
corpse on the ground, and then I would just hit play.
This is the kind of thing that can only happen in a man's game.
It can only happen in a game where we're
girls-
all on Discord and not in person as well.
That's why
I'll
no
also
girls
have my
allowed.
laptop
Well,
open.
I also honestly don't think the girls would find it that funny. Most
No,
of the
they're
time.
not. They don't appreciate this stupid meme culture we've been
Exactly.
building up.
That's what I do. I kind of like the smaller game anyway, though.
Oh
to
yeah,
be
we're
honest with
blazing
you.
along compared to Fable 2.
Yeah, we're blazing along. Like we're still having like fun with it because we also have like our own like inside jokes too.
Already
guess
after
so.
after 4 sessions, we have.
Well, hold on,
Aiden
a
just
lot of it
bought
boils down to
SoundPad.
hell yeah. A lot of this boils down to, like, especially in our WoW community, where there's 5 of us and 2 people may or may not be paying attention, is something will
You mean
happen and
Fable.
then, what did I say? WoW.
Wow, yeah.
My brain's pretty scatterbrained lately. So like we'll be in the Fable campaign, something will happen, and the major actors will act, and then Tim, you'll say, "Does anyone else want to do anything?" And then you have to double check
Hint,
with
hint, nudge,
someone
nudge.
who may not have been paying attention, and that just it always slows down interaction. Whereas with ours, we have the general consensus that if I'm gonna say something, I'll say it. Like we had a bit where like you and Luigi were taking point, and I was kind of just watching because I was like, well, I don't want to try and be like, oh, I have nothing to say here. I'm just gonna let them roll, and I'll jump in when I know what I want to do.
I'll jump in with the X-Files theme.
Yeah, I'll jump in with the X-Files theme, and it creates a more fluid RPing dynamic.
I think it comes down to people and just people quantity and people who's playing.
Yeah.
Because I think if this had been like your first campaign ever, it would be different because you've played enough now that you kind of have an idea of like the give and take of players between each other and like
you need to understand the
taking
dynamic of yourself
actions
versus
and
your
know
team
what you're doing instead of just what do I do now? And then it's like no, we all know what we're doing. We're all moving towards a goal. We're all giving our characters flair. Like I fucking punched a Wendigo in the face with a fucking Detroit smash in our game 2 sessions ago, and then I prayed to try to cleanse a woman of a demon baby until the FBI came in and knocked me out.
It also helps there's just less turns in combat, so it's way easier to like be well aware of what's happening. Like when you sit through 4 people's turns, by the third one after you're kind of lost about the setup. But essentially, it boils down to is what happens the turn after you go, and you know what happens the turn before you go. So 3 people is super convenient.
It's actually why I'm really happy that Fable 2 on Sunday had a puzzle in it because you guys could work on the puzzle and not be like, I am waiting for my turn at combat. Like Tyler unfortunately missed everything he did in combat basically.
Yeah,
and it was like. It was like,
we got a lot of low numbers this
sorry,
weekend.
Tyler, you missed your 1 attack, and Val gets 2 attacks, and Leslie's not there, so it went quicker, but Freeman's also trying to cast spells, and Luigi's also trying to cast spells, and then Tyler's like, I swing my mace, and then miss. And it's like,
sorry, I cheesed the puzzle, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you did win the puzzle for everybody.
Which is how I... short story of another one, how I also cheesed it. So there were locks in this mansion that we were supposed to go around the mansion and find. However, I knew the knock spell, so I literally just popped the locks off 3 doors and we made it to the end room. And he's like, Tyler, like after we're all done, like he's like, Ty, I gotta have you realize that like you basically killed this entire dungeon. And this was supposed to go for at least 3 sessions. We finished it in 4 hours.
Amazing.
And I'm like, yo, man. Sorry, not sorry.
Got him.
Yeah, no, I'm having fun with your guys' game. Aiden he's peeked over my shoulder at work when we oddly had some downtime this week.
I know where you're going.
Yeah, he does.
I know what you're doing.
And it's gonna be interesting. I don't think you saw some of the notes I wrote today, though. Like towards the end.
I
of the day,
have not seen today's notes, no. But I have a plan.
To see more of the notes.
Boris has a plan.
Oh boy.
Boris has a
plan. No, not the notes. In game, Boris has a plan.
I know. You're some thermal armor. I remember.
That's not even what I'm talking about. Oh. I need recruits, Tyler.
Oh. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, for the next part, you're gonna be busy.
That's fine. I can be busy, but my mercenary company needs recruits.
Yes. Yes, they will. They will probably get recruits.
Hey.
I mean,
assuming they can put up with the shenanigans, it'll be fine.
I think it would be okay. Tim's character might have a problem, but I think the other 2, if they joined, would be probably okay.
I am going out of my way to be a true paladin.
That's
Paladin
fine.
is
You
good.
can be a true paladin. Just be a communist true paladin.
Oh, I'm
Man,
good with it.
where you're going, Tim,
Communist.
is hard.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I something came with Russia during our last session, so I loaded this up in case it mattered. But
Oh, it
Oh,
does. It does. It does.
Dude,
my
because,
I
God.
think
mean,
it's honestly way too creepy. Actually, every time I've ran like this kind of campaign, like in my world or whatever, like yeah, like the main aggressors are Russians, but like
because
every
this campaign
time
is a giant '80s movie, and it's always the Russians in the '80s movie.
it is, but the fucked up part is not even the fucked up part. It's like every person who's like at least one character from every group is a Russian.
Not ours.
Before
Before
yours
we had
wasn't.
one.
I thought you
Our
were.
last one, we had a
Me?
Russian sniper with us.
Yeah,
I ain't Russian.
you're fucking. Your name's Sonya.
Oh, that's just by like luck.
Oh
no,
my!
no, no, no,
what?
no. I'm Catholic. I remember. I'm like
Yeah,
the
you're
Italian.
Russian
and
spy.
Catholic.
Look,
You don't have a Russian yet.
I'm not Russian. Yeah, well.
Is Boris Russian?
is Boris Russian?
This
No,
boy, dude.
not at all.
No, not even. He is in fact
Look.
far from it with his Adidas magazines
Oh my God.
and
and
the
my-
tracksuit
And my Soviet Union flag belt thing.
belt thing and the AK and the Makarov.
All right. Well, when we meet you, I'm
Not-
going to
not
ask you to
Russian.
squat to prove it.
Yo, I got you, fam. Yo,
Just
heels
this guy,
down,
American
boys.
spy.
Heels down.
Heels down. Fucking. Oh my god. Yeah. No, Leslie was a Russian. Or half Russian, or no, I think she was she's American born, but like her grandfather was from Russia.
I
I
can't.
mean,
what,
if you
what
want to
is
justify my
Warnia?
character's name, then I guess I could be like blood Russian, but not from Russia.
You could.
All right, we're getting off track and just straight up talking about the campaign setup here.
Yeah,
Let's wrap up this episode.
Yeah. So we're. But yeah. We'll I'm sure be back in a few months, sometime later. We'll be back with another set of D&D stories because we're all playing D&D at least once a week. So.
We'll eventually build up some more stories worth talking about.
Yeah, there's always good stuff. But for now, we're gonna just focus on some stuff that we played and watched and various other things, and we're gonna try to be quick because it's 10 o'clock. But yeah, Freeman, you got anything good that you played or watched or stuff?
Oh my god, I'm playing way too much Monster Hunter. This week was President's Day, so I had off. My coworker and I decided we wanted to watch some of the better movies of 2019. We had planned to watch 3 movies. We only actually got 2 because we forgot how long these movies are. But we started off the day watching Parasite. Oh my god. The movie was a thriller. It had me actually on the edge of my seat for like 3/4 of that movie.
Nice.
Very good. And we needed to calm down, so we watched A Wonderful Day in the Neighborhood afterwards, which was nowhere near as good in comparison, but it was still a pretty good movie. I like most movies with Tom Hanks in it, but I wanted to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but we ran out of time, so I'm going to see if I can watch that in the next couple of weeks. But in terms of anime, so funny coincidence. Tyler, I don't know if you want to talk about ReZero first, because that's what I was going to talk about.
ReZero. Well,
No spoilers. No spoilers.
We won't spoil it, but
Because Ian
You
was
better not. I'll fucking kill you.
I got to what apparently is anyone who's a fan of this show's favorite episode. Because you said it was your favorite episode, and our buddy Kyle said this was his favorite episode.
yeah, it was the episode that convinced me to start recommending the show to people.
So I'm like, man, what is about this episode? And I'm like, oh, this
Yes.
hurts a lot.
But
So, rewatching the episode, it's been so long since I watched it. Like, a character says a particular line in the episode that I like. I didn't even think of the first 2 times I saw it. They shout out like, "Not only did you take away my reason to live, you're about to take away my reason to die." And I sat there like, "Oh my god,
Oh my
this
god.
is better than I remember."
Oh my god.
So people jokingly refer to the show as Rewatch Zero because it's even better on the rewatch. Like, you'd see so many details you missed the first time around because it is a time looping
man,
show.
I can't, dude.
Oh no, you're not going to, because season 2 is happening. But it's been 4 years
Yeah.
since season 1 came out. I'm not technically rewatching it. I recommended it to a friend who we've been hanging out with lately. He was marathoning it, and then he was the only one free to hang out this weekend. So he came over and we jumped in. it was like I think episodes like 13 through 16 we watched, or like 12 through 16. Point is, it was like the start of my favorite arcs. I was really happy to watch it, but it happened to be the same episodes you were watching at that point.
Oh wow.
So it's fun to be refreshing the exact emotions you were going through.
Who wants to relive this?
Yeah.
I mean, this
Ooh.
is a 10 out of 10. Like, I'm trying to figure out where this fits in my top 10 anime.
Ooh, this is. I can't watch it anymore. It hurts too much.
I know, that's why it's good.
But that is the listeners. That is the reason why it's good. Like I do recommend this. I'm watching that and BoJack Horseman though,
Oh
and
God,
like
why?
Very
I
different
need
shows.
like a break.
Oh yeah, this ReZero gets really heavy. I don't recommend binging it.
Oh, we were forced to binge it. Fucking
Like
all
3
7
episode burst
episodes of
max
that.
for these ones. Jesus, that's a lot.
Oh, there was so much. I want to die.
Much like the main character.
Much like the main character wants to die, but it doesn't matter because he comes back. So, but yeah, no, I think it's fantastic, and I'm glad that I started it when I did. So now I can watch season 2 when that comes out. And also, that being said, damn, I like you gave me the reason why, like for the lack of
Source material.
like source material, and like so they can get the animators back on to like continue the project, which is nice. But like damn, I was like damn, how did like cuz after I watched that string of episodes, like I was already like captivated by what I had watched already, but then just what I caught up to there, I was like damn, how did this not like how is no one raving about this as much as any of the other shows that like I've watched? Cuz so far I think only you have that out of my friend group has watched it.
Really? I think
Yeah.
it was right when like watching seasonal anime became trendy that this blew up. So it was kind of in like the earlier binge of everyone watch this right now movement.
Okay.
Also, it
Alright.
was 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's like a million years ago.
It was a million years ago. Just imagine though. Think how many fucking anime seasons though that came out in between 2016 and now. It's a lot.
I just
It's like
started
too
working
many.
at the hospital.
I want to clarify. So there's a lot of people largely regard Darling in the Franxx as the peak moment where like the number of people watching seasonal anime spiked suddenly, and that was like the defining one because everyone was talking about Darling in the Franxx, and now Zero Two is this meme waifu, despite the split reception of the show. But everything pre-January 2018 is in like a different universe.
Pre-January 2018.
Like everything after that, you get these hype hits. Like I think Hero Academia season 2 was that year. Attack on Titan season 2 was that year, I think. You had Demon Slayer come out last year. Like we've been seeing these like blow up hits after that point in terms of seasonal shows, but for a while it wasn't like that. Yeah. Anyway, go watch ReZero, everyone.
Yeah, go watch ReZero.
I'm working on it.
trying.
Stop pressuring
Are
me.
you trying?
Yes,
I
I've
claim-
watched it with Tyler. Except for the last 7 episodes because I was dying the day that we were supposed to do anime day.
You gotta watch those 7 episodes, dude.
I'm trying.
All right, I'll watch like at least 3 tonight.
I'm
All right.
sorry you have to watch them alone.
It's fine, Tyler. Sometimes a man just needs to cry alone.
Jesus.
I cried in front of everyone on Friday.
Oh my
I
god.
cried like a little bitch. It was terrible.
You're not allowed to have emotions, Tyler. It's fucked up.
Right? But I was like, shit, I did it in front of Anna. I'm like, damn, I don't even know her that well. This is
Right.
fucked up. I was like, Kyle, I'm still what like with Kyle too. Tim is whatever. Like I can cry in front of Tim, but I was like, ah shit. I was like, it's fine. They're weebs too. They understand.
You know, suffering is Yo, can we really
Look,
really
it's-
quick talk about like oh, you weren't there for that. Oh, Tyler.
What?
Vampire Hunter D.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
Wait, why does it sound familiar?
Apparently that is a above a out of 10 show, and I need to watch it. Or movie, and I need to watch
But it's a movie. It's a movie I'm just saying,
Damn, this shit looks aesthetic.
space vampires, bro. Space vampires. All right. Not just space vampires. Warhammer 40K space vampires.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Well,
Little bit slow in the beginning, gets real hype at the end. You should probably watch it. It's pretty good.
This is the movie from the year 2000.
It
Does it have that
the
aesthetic?
one that we watched. Yes, I believe that's the one that we watched. There's one
Vampire
from the
Hunter, do you
80s.
Bloodlust?
Yes, Bloodlust. So
Gotcha.
Bloodlust is the remake of the original movie.
It still
The
has
original
that
movie
aesthetic,
is like
though, but it looks
80s-ish.
Yeah. Doesn't look
Um,
very clean.
yeah, it's the style of animation that I really really like. That's almost reminiscent of like Studio Ghibli in some ways.
Interesting.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was like, I understand where they got Castlevania from now. Cause this shit is the Castlevania before Castlevania. It was really good. Y'all should watch it if you have the time. Very good
I'm trying
movie.
to watch it. So is that everything that you're watching,
Freeman?
Freeman?
Yeah, everything else I'm catching up on like minor shows this season. I'll deliver my verdict on stuff as I finish them. I finished Orisuke, You're the One Who Loves Me, the rom-com that everyone hyped up. Shit ended
Oh
terribly.
yeah, the one that you showed me and Luigi, and we had a great time watching the first episode.
It devolved into generic harem, and then they like ended the season on a cliffhanger and said season 2 maybe.
Damn.
Ugh.
OVA's confirmed a year from now, and it's like fuck off.
Boy.
Like, why would you do this? So I was very disappointed with that ending. But that's it for what I watched. I did catch up on Hero. I'm not caught up on Haikyuu. I will be caught up on Haikyuu this Friday.
Yay! Games or anything? We'll just do the whole closing thing.
Just Monster Hunter.
That's right.
I'm playing so much of that. It's still so much fun.
Goddamn.
Aiden.
Yo.
Shows, games. You've been playing lots of games.
I'm always playing all the fucking games.
What's the current count?
It's oh god. Hold on, let me go through my list real
If it
quick.
involves more than one hand when you count this out, then you need to stop.
No, I have to use Steam most recent.
Oh jeez.
Alright, I've played Doom, Moonlighter. Thank you, Tyler, you fucking dick.
Yay.
If anybody doesn't know what Moonlighter is, it's a shopkeeper game, but it's also a dungeon crawler. And if you've played Reciteer, you know what Moonlighter
Yeah, I
is.
was gonna say that's what it sounds like.
I finally farmed out my Valhazak set for Monster Hunter World and my Zinogre set. So I am just a god among men right now, as far as like actually not high master rank. I still have to get my my silver Athlos, gold Rathian.
The hard shit.
I gotta get Rajang, all the fuck you level monsters. Still working on that. Dark Souls 3 still a thing. Haven't played as much recently, but we got to get back on that, Tim.
I'll play after this if you want. I was gonna ask when we were done.
Yeah, that's fine. We can play some after this.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Last thing we did was we went to the Dreg Heap and we both beat the Demon Princes.
Yeah,
So
we made it through Dreg Heap. We are now in the Ringed City.
Yeah, we're basically on like the last.
Yeah, we're in
2
the
hours
last
a pop.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it depends. It depends on how shitty we, how fucking stacked the player characters are on that one boss, the adjudicator.
Oh, I forgot about him. I was thinking of the dragon because the dragon fucking sucks too.
Not the most trouble I've ever had in that game was the adjudicator fight.
Are you kidding?
Where every time I fought this motherfucker, I would come in there. You know the video. You know the video. Fucking Happy Souls. Fucking
Happy Souls.
fucking fax machine send.
I gotta say that.
Backstab, you're dead.
I gotta say, the only time I ever played through the DLC, I didn't have much trouble. I just rushed the guy as soon as he spawned and killed the first summon and was fine.
Wait, were you not playing online?
I was, but I just rushed. I think I just killed the giant and then the first guy, and then the fight was over.
Because like in that fight, you get an invader with it.
Yeah, I'm
So
saying I
that's the-
killed the
yeah.
giant and the first invader, and before summoned another invader, so the fight was over.
He's just
Damn,
too good at this
motherfucker.
There's
game.
video footage of
Oh
this
my
on the
God.
Let's Play.
Oh shit! This motherfucker just flexing on me right now.
Well, no, I didn't have trouble. I don't know. Maybe I got lucky. I don't know. There's
I'm
video
just too good at
footage
this
we
game,
can check.
dude.
I mean, watching Aiden play Doom, I know I'm better at Doom than Aiden is. So
Damn.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Damn, shots fired.
we'll talk about that
All
when
right.
I get to my week.
Wow.
Shots,
All right.
shots,
Well,
shots.
yeah. No, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that, Tim.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Beat Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I believe I already mentioned that. Still playing Code Vein. Not as good as Dark Souls, but if you like anime and Dark Souls, it's pretty good.
Maybe.
Two great tastes that
I'm
go
thinking
great
about it.
together.
It's anime Dark Souls. Still making my way through Temtem. Still better Pokemon.
Oh my god, I still haven't
Hasn't
turned it on once. One day.
We
We gotta
I'll start
all
playing.
all just get on and start fresh characters on a day together and just all do Temtem.
Yo, I'm down.
God.
You want to fight? Let's
Hell
go.
yeah.
Fucking talk about. Oh, I'm better at Doom. I'm a fucking
Literally
lay you out with my
IRL
Temtem.
rivals racing each
I'm
other
a
to beat the
Temtem
dojos.
master.
I am a Temtem master.
I'll see a character named Timpedia walking in the gym. I'll type out in public chat, smell you later, as I walk to the next dojo.
That's pretty much all I've been playing aside from like Call of Duty. I'm working on my 6th golden gun on Call
Jesus.
of Duty.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I've played that game a lot. Season 2 just started and we're getting a battle royale. It's a fun fact. Call
What?
of Duty
is
battle
that
royale.
okay? Is that
Didn't they have one
official
in the
yet
last
or
version?
no?
That's official. It's coming out
Okay.
in March. It's coming out in March.
Yeah, because the season 2 trailer was like, "Hey, look at these 100 characters on this map together. Isn't that
It's a
crazy?"
ghost. It's a
The-
ghost.
Look,
You
I just
guys
want
are-
massive action games.
Remember
speculation-
Ghost?
The speculation that it is that it is a 200 player battle royale.
Oh, whatever. Who even cares?
I do. Because I
fair.
like Call of Duty.
Because I don't want to play Fortnite, but I want
I mean,
to play
I heard that-
Also, I don't want to play Fortnite.
Well, I also heard that Blackout was good in the Black Ops 4, right? That was the battle royale.
I didn't hear people
Yes,
complaining about it.
Blackout.
I heard
Uh,
it was really hot for like a week or two, and then people were like, and then we went back to other stuff.
Yes. So my whole thing with this is that like we've had the early game of battle royales. We've gotten Fortnite, we got PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and like PUBG at one point was a very good game. And it is just not good anymore.
I mean,
I don't know if they changed the netcode or like what they did, but it just doesn't feel good to play anymore.
full disclosure, I always hated the way it handled. Like, it just was not fun.
Oh, sure. I can understand how like handling wise, like controls.
Like, if you liked
wise,
Arma or whatever, it was fine. But like playing through it, I felt like I could just literally never hit anything.
yeah. At one point I could hit things. I can now no longer hit things.
Welcome to how I play PUBG, where it's find a team and just hope they kill everyone for you
So
because you're not
I'm
killing
like
anything.
I'm looking forward to a new battle royale that I could potentially enjoy because I don't fucking care about Fortnite. It's like battle royales are fine, but I don't want the like, oh, I'm getting shot at. Hold on, let me build a fucking
Oh, yeah.
pillow
Build-
fort
build-
around me
build-
real quick. Like
Rant.
that's really fucking stupid. And it's like you can keep the 12-year-olds can keep that shit. I don't want it. Like I want that like let me crawl through the dirt and the muck and be a stealthy ninja with my ghillie suit and snipe bitches from the grassy knoll.
Basically, we
That's
just
what I want.
PUBG again, if it was good.
I want better PUBG. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want anything else.
Did you play Blackout or you didn't have Black Ops 4?
I never got Black Ops 4. I fell off of Call of Duty in Modern Warfare 2.
Damn, that was an eternity
That's
ago.
even longer than it was for me. That's impressive.
Yeah, but like Call of Duty Modern Warfare has really like reignited that spark in me, where I'm like, I can play this again because it feels good to play now.
You know, I wonder what'll happen when Halo starts coming out this year.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm ready. Let's go.
No,
still
I know,
playing
but
Halo.
like, what's gonna be the game?
Yes.
Are you gonna be playing Battle Royale? Yeah, I know.
Have you not been paying attention to him? The moral
I
of the
know,
story
Aiden
is
plays-
he plays like 6 games at a time at least.
Aiden's got a lot of balls in the air all at once. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. I am a master juggler. I'm still. I gotta
Yeah, you
get
like to juggle
my. I
balls
gotta
already.
get my wrath soul. Wow. Okay. Fine.
He
All
was
right.
just
I'm
playing
not gonna
Dragon.
juggle your balls anytime soon,
Damn.
Tyler.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. Feel bad. Feel bad,
Damn
bitch.
it.
Fuck you.
Jesus.
Oh. Fun fact. Also, beat a Plague Tale Innocence. Very good game.
okay.
You should play it. Very good game. Very, very, very good game.
Yeah,
If,
I've
if
been
you enjoyed,
considering it.
if you enjoyed, Brothers,
Oh,
Two Brothers,
Two brothers.
Brothers.
I enjoyed
4
Brothers.
guys, not podcasts.
Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Oh, I actually like
Yeah,
Brothers
it's
a lot.
like kind of, it's in that, it's almost in that same vein, except
Ooh.
it's not that top-down kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
and
behind the shoulder and it's kind of
there's
creepy.
there's actual exposition to it.
Hmm.
And it's basically it's the 1500s plague except with supernatural elements.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very interesting, and it's not a time period that you see too often.
Yeah, for sure.
And I really liked it. So if you like some solid narrative experiences, you should play that.
Cool.
Interesting.
But yeah, so that's that's just that portion of the things I've been playing. So there you go.
I have played not many games, but I played through multiple games. I think last time we podcasted, I was in the middle of Doom 3. I finished Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil, and the Lost Missions, and Doom 2016 again.
So
It's been a lot of Doom. And then
Gotta
yesterday,
get hyped for that release date.
well, so this was all training for Doom Eternal. I basically played on the hardest non-nightmare difficulty for everything. Didn't have too much trouble. Those games are all still good. Doom 3 is definitely still probably the weakest Doom game, but that's not saying anything terrible. I still think Doom 3 is actually fun. Doom 3 takes longer to play than Doom 2016. Mostly because 2016, if you know what you're doing, you're just zipping around, kill, done, kill, done. Doom 3 is just naturally slower and more story-based, so it takes longer. But it's still good. I had fun playing Doom 3 again. It's going to be years before I do it again, but I'm sure in the future I'll boot BFG Edition up again and just blast through it again. But 2016 is still fantastic, but I'm definitely going to not touch any of them again until Eternal. Training went fine, but I'm not risking
Training
burning
went
out
fine.
on Doom. But I reinstalled Titanfall 2 last night and started playing through that campaign again because I'm in my mood of I want to play shooters that feel fantastic all the time. So I'm gonna go from one amazing shooter to another. Yeah, Titanfall still feels so fucking good. The slide uppercut punch on a dude, just sending him flying, just feels so fantastic still. That's pretty much all I've been playing. I wanted to throw this out there. So, unfortunately, my fiance has a bad habit of buying things when she shouldn't. She bought me a Switch for Valentine's Day.
Oh no!
Oh no! I would have stopped her, but she asked me which one to get you.
So I
Jesus.
have turned it on. I logged it into my Wi-Fi, and I haven't touched it since.
You don't have any games for it, do you?
I do not
You're
have
a
any
fucking
games.
horrible
So
person.
if anyone, what?
You're a horrible person.
Why?
Play more
Well,
Switch
Fortnite
games.
is free on Switch.
Oh my god.
Damn. Well,
Damn.
damn.
I would love some real suggestions from listeners if you have a Switch
Breath of the
Switch
Wild.
games. That's already on the list to play. See, the thing is, so I'm pretty sure a lot of what I would play on Switch, I'm actually not going to play until I move back to New Jersey because I want to play them with Val. Because I feel like Legend of Zelda is the kind of game Val would love to help me mess around in, like cooking and stuff like that, and just messing around with stuff.
Just get Moonlighter.
The
I
world ends
could
with
do
you.
that. Yeah, I'm looking for games, but I probably won't use it much. Also because with Val gone, I'm basically on Discord every day all the time, and I don't really want to be on Discord on my phone while I'm playing a Switch game. So just by virtue of being on my PC, that means I'm not really on my Switch. But
But you can be on your PC and your Switch at the same time. It's the magic of the handheld console.
I know, but I'd rather just keep
Be
playing
playing on your
PC
PC.
games. The
Yeah,
Switch games I'll play with Val. Like for now, I want to regrind like Titanfall and shit, which are more solitary games.
While you're able to be on your computer completely uncontested.
Yes, because I'm gonna try to not be on my computer very much when I move back to New Jersey. But yeah, so those are the games I'm playing. Watched My Hero. My Hero's I think pretty good right now. Haikyuu is really exciting. They actually left off at a cliffhanger this week. And Haikyuu
Nice.
is a lot of fun. They actually did a power-up arc in a sports anime, which is fun.
Does he
Trust me,
get
it happens a lot.
Oh, I'm sure, but it's this is my first sports anime, so it's just weird to go through and be like, oh, these people are learning. It's actually great. They had a teaser moment in this episode where he tried to use a new move, and then someone ruins it. It's like, oh, that means next week we're going to see the new move, the new hotness.
New move.
New hotness.
The secret technique.
press the red button?
I did watch something. So, Friedman, I forget why, but last week you brought up a movie, Garden of Words.
Yes, because we were doing our top movies of the decade, and I said Garden of Words was Makoto Shinkai's most beautiful film of the decade.
So you've seen it. That's why it came up.
Yes.
Okay, because me and
I love that
Tyler.
movie.
So real quick, me and Tyler were talking about it yesterday on Discord, and I was like, I know Freeman talked about this. Is it because a studio did it or a person or something? But no, you just watched the movie.
Well, I mean, Makoto Shinkai's the big guy. He did Your Name. He did.
That's
Weather
right. Yeah,
Review.
that's what I thought.
He's the new hotness of directors. But I watched it before he had like super blown up,
Well,
and I still think it was beautiful.
also last night watched Garden of Words.
What'd you think of it?
I highly recommend it. It's Freeman, like Freeman said, some of the shots in this movie, I legitimately feel like it's hard to believe they didn't just shoot film and then throw filters on it. Like the shot of the tree branch dipping into the water, or him just walking through the park. Even like Violet Evergarden, one of my favorite and most beautiful anime ever, nothing looks this good. Even like a Miyazaki film doesn't always look this good. This looks so fantastic. It's only 45 minutes. It's on Netflix. I actually really recommend it. It's not a super large story. It's not a super heavy story. There's heavy elements to it. There's about halfway through, there's a revelation about one of the two characters, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. And then it leads to the only confrontation, well, of two in the whole show, in the whole movie. And then the ending was like, oh my God, this hurts.
Had just enough emotion to make you feel, but not too much that it destroys you.
Yeah, I wasn't like bawling or anything, but I definitely like I didn't even really tear up, which is I considering like Violet and everything, but like I don't know, it was good. I felt it even though I wasn't like crying with the characters. But it's a really good, just intimate, simple story that says a lot of things about interacting as people, how there are some things that like transcend even like age difference and like life difference. But it's also a story about being at different places in your life and how something can feel like the most important thing in the world when it actually isn't. And how it's important to it's also about like how little, because the story takes place over like what, Freeman, like a few months.
Yeah, it's like one. I think it's like a
it's
6
like a
week period,
June.
like
It's
the
like a
rainy season in
June.
Japan.
It's like a June to September is when it ends.
Yeah.
But there's gaps in there for like the characters. And it's about how like this moment in time feels like the most important thing in the world, but in the grand scheme of your life, it's just a little blip, but it sticks with you forever. And that's kind of what this movie is. How it's the kind of thing
Sounds
where it's
pretty gay to me.
okay.
I mean, it is, but it's in a
You're
good way.
fucking gay.
But like
Yeah,
it's just a touching story, and you can tell that this is a very personal story that someone wanted to tell. For over half the movie, there's only 2 voice actors, the 2 main characters talking, and there's
And
maybe
the voice actress in it is phenomenal. I love her.
and there's maybe 5 other people who speak in like the entire movie for more than a second. Like most characters, if they're there, get like 2 lines of dialogue outside of the main characters. It's just a very personal story, and it is such gorgeous animation. It's crazy. It's almost like people didn't draw this. This isn't hand
It's
drawn.
like they traced over real life for some of the scenes.
Yeah, like I said, it looks more like it should be a video that was filters were slapped on it. Like it's crazy how good some of these shots are. And you can tell some shots were really really more done than others. Like it looks great overall, but like I said, there's a scene of just a tree branch that dips into the water, and they use it like 5 or 6 times in the movie. And that shot, every time it's on screen, is like, fucking a team of artists spent a week on just this 3-second shot.
And like we gotta include this in the rest of the movie. We spent too much time
Yeah,
on this.
we spent too much. We need to alter it slightly and do it all over again. But yeah, I would recommend it. It's short and easy and just a nice, simple story. And it was perfect for me because I've been like struggling to get back into a long form show. It's hard to come home at the end of the day and be like, man, I should. Do I?
45 minutes is just enough time that it's not a huge.
Yeah,
commitment.
it's a little
It's
commitment.
basically like 2 episodes of a normal show, or like if you watch like a
Exactly.
long form show, it's like 1 episode.
It's like an OVA. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, like, if
so
you watch,
I
like-
recommend it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and last but not least, Tyler.
What have I watched? Watching BoJack Horseman.
You fucking animal.
Yeah, I like it. Whatever, man. Fuck. What?
Too
Shit,
sleepy to
sorry.
remember.
Too sleepy to remember. I'm really struggling to remember what I watched.
You watched ReZero.
That's a lot of reason.
Yeah, I know. I've watched ReZero.
I'm just letting you know, reminding you.
In case you forgot.
Yeah. In case I forgot, because we talked about it 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I think that's all I really watched. I watched a movie recently. What the fuck did I watch? It wasn't a new movie. Oh, I watched Jojo Rabbit. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what'd you think of it?
Yeah, I really liked it. Another movie where I thought Scarlett Johansson was good in it.
I'll tell you, you were
I don't know
telling
if
us that you usually don't particularly like her, but you really liked her in this movie. I think you told us that on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I liked her in this movie, and I liked her in Marriage Story.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And like, because most other things, I'm like, I think she's cool, but she's not like Emily Blunt to me, where I fucking hate her guts. Like, I think she's okay. I think she went from so far to me in my eyes like an actor who just gets the job done to like, or actress who gets the job done to like, oh, I actually kind of enjoy these roles that she's playing. And I think because they're mom characters, and I think she just plays the role as a mom pretty well. But aside from that, I thought the movie was pretty good. I don't know if I would give it like, if I was on a board of whatever, I probably wouldn't give it like worthy of an Oscar nomination. But
It was still an entertaining watch.
it was still entertaining to watch. I'm trying to think of the people who would if you like Wes Anderson flicks, it's like it doesn't have the same shot placement, but it has that Wes Anderson feel to it though.
Cool.
Like if you've watched like Grand Budapest Hotel or some shit like that. I'm almost done with the 6th book in the Dark Tower series.
How many are there total?
There are 7.
Isn't this the
Okay,
book you
so-
just told me the other day was the book that was?
I'm confused.
then-
Don't say anything too much because
Well, I'm
apparently
not saying.
Freeman's-
No. I was just saying like you were like just general impression. You were like middling on it, then you were high on it, and now you're back to middling on it.
It's a roller coaster right now. Like I'm having a lot of conflicting feelings about it right now. Like, a lot of it is good and a lot of it is bad and a lot of it is in the middle, but I'm still intrigued to keep going. And it's not because I made it so far. Like, I think the fifth book was a drag. Like
Really?
the fifth. I'm not gonna lie to you, Freeman. Like the fifth book is seriously a
Look,
drag.
I don't know how far into it gonna get, but I'm gonna give the first book a shot. We'll see.
The first four are bangers. I will say that. The first four I think are pretty good. Aiden wasn't a huge fan of the first one.
The first two are boring,
Damn.
I didn't know
and
you
I
read
fell
the
off.
first one.
Yeah, I finished. I like got through all of it, and I'm just I don't care.
Dang, I'm surprised because there's
Sorry,
one
it's just
scene in the.
it's not my kind of story.
That's fine. There's one scene in the first book where I was like, "Holy shit, this is crazy," and then the end kind of made me go like, "What the fuck?" But I was like interested though in seeing where it was going. And then I knew the second book was kind of more of a setup, and then like I guess like somewhere in between the second and third book is where like the story really starts taking off into like what the journey really is to get to where the main character has to go. And now I've come to the point where it's like all these revelations are happening, like all the answers that I've wanted to know is happening. And like all of the tying up of the loose ends. And then I'm assuming that the final book is like the climax and then like the afterwards of this is of what, oh, this is the thing that happened and then what's going to happen afterwards. And that's going to be a chonker of a book. It's like, I don't know,
It's gonna be a chonker.
like 700 pages or some shit like that. It's long. But I will say that it brings more of the experience to reading these if you've read at least some of his other stuff. So I don't know if you what you've read
Absolutely
or
none of it. I'm
watched.
going in blind to this.
Have you watched any of the movies?
No,
Any
I mean,
of the
I repeat my statement. I'm going in blind.
Oh wow, yeah, no, you're going in super blind. Damn, because there's like a couple things like it references like as far as like main overarching story stuff, it references the Stand a few times. Um, like
The
stuff that
Stand.
happens in the mist. Yeah, it's a
Nani.
oh god damn it. Yes, the fucking
JoJo Stand.
Star Platinum shit.
The world.
The world. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm playing Moonlighter. Uh, honestly, I found this game one day, and I was like, man, this concept sounds pretty cool. Like by day you want to sell shit, and by night you want to go down and like raid these things and sell them in your shop. And I'm like, this is kind of cool. I'll just wait till it goes on sale or whatever. And then like, I think it was on my wish list for like almost 2 years, and then the other day it was on sale for $5 for some reason. And I was like, ah, fuck it, why not? This game looks cool. And so yesterday I got home and I pretty much played it up until like 1 o'clock in the morning. It
It's
was
a pretty good
nice.
game.
Yeah, I
Again.
like it a lot.
If you've ever played Reciteer, it's same concept. I know that you haven't, but
I
if anybody, if the peoples out on the interwebs
haven't.
have, then they know.
I've also been playing Call of Duty. I kind of slowed down a little bit over the last couple of days because I got the Golden Odin, aka the Golden Weave gun.
The Golden Dream Killer is what it is.
Dude, I love it. I love how like so the red stays on like most of the skins, right? Like if you want to throw another skin on it, like some red stays on it, but you put the gold skin on, literally just the chibi girl and the magazine stays and everything else is gold. Like not a hint of red is on it. I'm like, this is it. They knew what the
Yo.
fuck they were doing.
Hell yeah.
Also I run around with a dual wielding golden desert eagles. It is the most inaccurate garbage thing I could possibly use, but when I do kill someone with it, it's hilarious. especially if I get a wall bang and a long shot kill with it. That shouldn't exist. Like those things should not exist in one kill. But it is.
Sometimes you just need God, anime, and a dream, Tyler.
Sometimes you just need God, anime, and a dream. Things I need to be watching. I need to be watching fourth stage of Initial D, and actually watch that.
Hell yeah, best season.
So far, I like the concept a lot. I feel like, and it kind of sucks because I'm like shit. Like I almost wish that this show had this same direction, like this same concept from the beginning.
Oh, instead of having the high school drama nonsense.
Yeah, or like one season to like bang out, or like one season and one movie if they wanted to like bang out the high school drama, because it's like, oh, now the main character has found his direction and now this is what he wants to do and he's fully committed to
So,
it.
like, if Initial D was a modern anime, the first 24 episodes would have condensed into 12. To be perfectly honest.
Yes, I believe that, and which would have been a lot better in my opinion because we would have
Pacing was
gotten a lot
incredibly
more
slow in season one.
races.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I kind of wish that he had a little bit more resistance to his driving. I mean, I haven't seen the rest of it, but I'm like, man, this motherfucker wins all the time. But outside that's it. I'm not really doing too much. Yeah, I'm trying to get the rest of my year in order because I realize that I have a lot of things going on, and it's
Like
hard
taxes.
like taxes and trying to figure out spending money around like what I am doing this whole year, like all the weddings that I'm going to, uh, and potential trips that probably won't happen. I'm definitely going to a concert though,
Ooh.
for Lamb of God and Megadeth. So
Nice.
cool. But that's about it. Just Tyler on the 100th episode.
All right. Let's wrap this up. This episode's been going on way too long.
Yes, that's fair.
As always.
Well, that's it though. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We got a lot of most of this was D&D stories, which is exactly what we wanted. But we'll be back probably next week. But
Always maybe.
Yeah, it's always uncertain. But either way, we'll be back soon. But until next time, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
The amazing ads.
And here's to another 100 episodes of the TNT podcast. We'll catch you guys later.